What's going on? Barry, help me, please. The door won't open.
That was too close. You were almost a Jill sandwich.
You're right. Barry, thanks for saving my life.
Salutations and welcome to the Manabar Video Game Podcast. I'm your host, Andy Rose. I'm joined here with Matt Samarco.
Hey, what's going on?
Nothing much. And DJ Party.
The Dan Party. Hi.
That's what I
How you
said.
doing? No, you didn't.
I said it the right way.
Did not.
How you guys
How you
doing?
feeling?
I'm Dan.
I'm good.
I'm good. I'm Ducky.
Ducky?
I'm Ducky.
What does that mean?
Let's not have a second conversation
Wait, we already
about
talked
what
about
this means. Yeah, in the
No way.
original start to the podcast that I was told to redo. So
That's not
we're
true. Andy told us to
skipping.
redo it.
I am going to go back into the fact that I feel horrible. We're going to talk about that again, though.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you look
Why
at
do we feel horrible?
I don't know. I'm just burnt out. It's 9 to 5 work life and all the driving I do and all that stuff.
all the
And-
driving.
yeah.
Don't you just win? You could
You're
wish you could
20
win
minutes
the
away
lottery.
from work.
No, but like commuting to see my girlfriend and all that stuff. Like just
Oh yeah,
throughout
but
the
you
week.
got to know in the back of your mind that it's that's gonna change at some
Yeah.
point.
Why am I not allowed to be burnt out? I'm not allowed to feel the way I'm
Because you've
feeling?
had an easy commute for like most of your
So-
job career.
I'm not allowed to feel what I'm feeling.
Well, not about the drive.
I just
About the
said
work.
I just said everything.
Well, work 9 to 5. But you driving like
I'm allowed to feel however the fuck I want to feel, Dan.
Whoa.
It's a good part about being in America. I'm allowed
Whoa.
to. I'm allowed to feel.
You should quit your job.
Yeah, I don't think you should quit your job.
No, I don't plan on doing that. That would
No.
not bode well for my financial future.
Okay, that's true.
Unless this podcast starts making like
Plus, you're not that good at World
an
War
X
Z,
amount of
so-
money per year, but I don't want to talk about my salary, even though it's public knowledge. Not a lot happened this week
No, it didn't.
News-wise,
with video game
It did
news.
not.
we played some video games. There was some news.
There was some. Not a lot, though.
There's a physical
Slow.
release of a game that's coming soon.
We know Dan's going to keep track of that.
That happens a lot, Dan. A game
No,
physically
announced-
releases soon.
No, it's going to release soon, and I didn't think it was something. Shut up.
Newsflash. A game will release soon.
That's the end of the podcast.
Bye, everybody.
We don't want to give it all away right now.
Dude,
Anyway,
Next week to hear what game.
Daymare.
I don't even know what the fuck that is.
It was like the spiritual successor to Resident Evil 2. It was a group of people that made...
Did they not know that there was a Resident Evil 3? That was the actual successor to...
It's not made by the same company. It's made by a bunch of fans.
Missed it by just 18 years.
Yeah, a little bit. Anyway, no, they saw what Resident Evil 2 was, and they were inspired, and they made something similar to it.
Now, hang on. When you say they saw what Resident Evil 2 was, do you mean
No,
the
they were
original
big
or the remake?
Well, the original, and then also the remake, and they started to make it, and I guess Capcom made them because it was going to be like a very, 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 very like pretty much ripoff of Resident Evil with like even Umbrella and everything, and then Capcom was like, you need to remove that stuff. So then they did, and they tweaked some things.
But yeah, that's infringing if you're going to use like straight up.
Yeah, but they were there's infringing just to make money, and these are like
Well, were they
actual
making
fans.
money on it?
They were planning on at some point, but I don't think they were doing.
You can't make money on
No,
something and
I-
then use things like the Umbrella Corp logo and stuff like that.
No, I understand that, but what I'm saying is they're fans first. That just happened. They weren't like a company like, oh, we can just siphon this. They were trying to make it close to Resident Evil, and that was like too close. And they were like, all right, you need to change this.
Yeah, no,
so they changed
I
it.
give credit to Capcom for not just shutting them down completely like a Nintendo would.
Yeah, so they changed it a bit, and it came out a few years ago for the PC, I believe, and Steam.
So what's it called? Daymare, you said?
It's called Daymare. It's a low budget game. It was one of the ones I talked to the people on Twitter, and they said they were going to send me a code for it for the PC, but they never got back to me.
Whoa! Calling out the developer straight
they're
up
just busy.
on the podcast.
Oh, man.
They're busy.
How dare they?
I mean, I'm one of probably thousands of messages they get. I understand, but
Did you guys see that new Resident Evil Netflix leak? That there's going to be a
No.
TV series?
Starring
That chick from the
Is
movies?
it real, like real people or animated?
They don't say yet. There was this
That'd
like
be
little.
cool if it was animated.
It better not be real, like real people, because all those movies sucked. Bad.
Yeah, there was just some like one line on like some Netflix webpage or something that says the town of Clearfield, Maryland, has long stood in the shadows of three seemingly unrelated behemoths: the Umbrella Corporation, the decommissioned Greenwood Asylum, and Washington D.C. 26 years after the discovery of the T-virus, secrets held by the three will start to be revealed at the first signs of outbreak.
I don't mind if it's live action. I don't
want
automatically
live action.
Well, hang on. I don't automatically assume that just because there was a movie franchise that's bad,
They're
that
really
if they
going
did
all
a
in with
live
this Resident
action show.
Resident Evil just doesn't work.
How does every other zombie movie work?
Because it's
The Resident Evil movies so far don't
tampered
work.
by bad movies and like action that I don't.
You just got to separate it.
Yeah, but this isn't a sequel. It's like a reboot. It's like a whole separate thing.
That's like the Transformers movies. They're going in a new direction
not
with
a
movies
reboot,
going
'cause
forward.
it's
I'm not going to automatically
present day.
assume they're going to be trash because the Michael Bay movies were trash. You can, just like you can't assume that the new Terminator movies were going to be amazing because Terminator 1 and 2 were amazing. Every Terminator movie after that sucked. It's like you got to separate it.
Keep it separated.
I don't. If it's live acting, I wouldn't be that interested at all. It's just.
That doesn't mean it's not going to be
I feel like that'd
good.
be more interesting because there'd probably be a much bigger budget. I mean, that Witcher series is pretty good. That seems like a
Yeah,
weird
The
game
Witcher
to turn
works.
into a TV show.
I feel like in my mind, again, this is just my perspective, but I feel like The Witcher works as like a TV series. I don't feel like the Resident Evil works. It's a little bit over the top for something with a realistic feel to it. Like Albert Wesker, like he's kind of like a video game villain. Like he's a little too corny.
Well, those games were really campy.
Yeah, but
And then they tried to make the movies way too over the top.
that's the thing. Like, I don't think you can make a Resident Evil without it being some kind of campy. That's why Resident Evil 7 didn't work. Well, it barely connected it because it didn't feel like campy a little bit at
but
all.
It could be like Resident Evil 7 in the fact that like it's not really
Yeah, but
super
then-
close to Resident Evil,
yeah,
but
but
it's
then it-
got some of the core mechanics like
Resident Evil
Umbrella.
7 had nothing to do with the previous games.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
absolutely.
yeah, but that's what I'm
It
saying.
wasn't just tone. It was, like, literally nothing.
Yeah, so this would be like a completely different tone,
Well,
possibly.
Like, take Resident Evil 2, for instance. Take that setting with the characters and the plot, but make it more serious. Like you can just change the tone and make it live action. Like, I think there is a balance. Now, whether or not this series will be good or not is something completely different. Anything can be good, just like anything can be bad. You know, like I forget who it was. I think it was. I mean, he's disgraced at this point in the public opinion. But whatever the guy, John Lasseter, founded Pixar. He had a great take on. So there was this shift from CG from 2D animated movies to CG movies. And that was a pretty big deal. And the entire industry was basically just forcing us to think, hey, CG movies are better. And what they were doing was they were basically giving all of the best scripts to the CG movies. And all of the 2D movies, especially the late era Disney ones that came out, nobody even fucking remembers because they were all like horseshit. It was like, I think the last one Disney did was like Home on the Range or something like that. And it was just like this horseshit Roseanne Barr voiced cow movie about...
Home on the Range.
Yeah.
Is that the one with the little boy and
No.
he gets captured by the
Rescuers?
Down Under? Oh, yeah, okay, that's what I was getting.
No, Home on the Range came out in like 2003. And,
Oh, sorry, the guy from that movie sings...
Yeah, but anyways, these movies and then things like Treasure Planet, they just were straight up not marketing. But these movies were good, but they were kind of forcing the opinion that the medium was driving how good the movie was, when it wasn't that. If any of those Pixar movies were in 2D, they would have been just as good based on story and merit.
Yeah, but that's the thing with Resident Evil, is it needs to be a little campy or it doesn't feel like Resident Evil. Resident Evil has a bunch of animated movies, and they're good. They're actually really good.
I didn't even know they had animated movies.
Yeah, they have a bunch. There's like 2 or 3 of them. I own one on DVD, and they're great because they don't take themselves extremely seriously. And if you were to do that, it just wouldn't feel like a Resident Evil thing to me.
My
all.
one
kind
of example of something that has done basically what Resident Evil should be was Ash versus the Evil Dead. It was a camp horror, live action, and successful.
Yeah, but isn't that the one with the chainsaw and stuff?
Yeah, it was campy.
Yeah, but that's like too goofy. Like Resident Evil tries.
I don't know.
not
I've
to
seen
be-
some of those Resident Evil cutscenes.
they-
The live action ones from the 90s.
Well, for the time, they were trying to be serious, and they were just terrible.
Well, Walking Dead does the serious, scary zombie stuff. Sort of.
Yeah, but he's saying that Resident Evil needs that kind of
Yeah, it
campy
needs
tonal.
a little bit. It needs that sort of corny bad guy that's just cocky and I don't. I
Yeah.
just don't know if that formula works. Like at that point, just make a new series because Resident Evil has always been about like one character basically, shooting up zombies, and I don't know how interesting you could make that with splitting between.
I imagine this is just going to be a serious-based zombie show with those kind of plot points thrown in. That's what I assume
Yeah,
it's
just
going to
like
be.
using Umbrella
But
Corporation as the scary mega overlord, and then
Yes,
it's kind
yeah.
of its own thing completely.
I mean,
I also don't want Resident Evil to become something that's like, oh, we just gotta, advertise it to the masses. That's what we gotta do. And then people were like, oh, the Resident Evil game's not an action.
I've got some bad news. They've been doing that since like 4.
4 was great.
Yeah, they changed all the controls and made it more modern, and then in 5 they made it like 2 players so you could play with your friend, and then
Yeah, but then
6,
they
made it like
they
a completely,
realized it was
completely action game because people love action games, and then
well, yeah,
7
but then
they just
they
completely changed it.
well, yeah, they realized that they made a mistake, and again, I just don't want. I think it would just be.
Yeah, but that was 15 years ago that they started doing that.
Was it 15 years ago?
Resident Evil 4 came out in 2004. Like, that was a long time ago.
Holy crap.
Also, I guess I'm not one, in full disclosure, I am not the one to also, artist subjective, video games are subjective. I was watching Power Rangers episodes yesterday, so I'm not unfamiliar to camp. Like, I can take camp. I don't mind shove as much into a show as you want as long as it's, somewhat tasteful. Like, I don't know. I'm open to most ideas. I'm not as huge Resident Evil fan as you guys are, though, so that might also be where I'm coming from.
I don't know. It's just they've had the
movies sucked.
The movies are awful because they made it action and they made it about this woman that has superpowers. It's like, this is dumb.
Towards the end, yeah.
Yeah, well, no,
they took them away.
Even in the first one, she's like, oh, all of a sudden I know how to run up walls and kick dogs in the face. Like, no,
she didn't kick a dog in the face, did she?
she did in the very first
Was
one.
it a real dog or a zombie dog?
I mean, it was a real dog at one point.
When she was kicking it?
No, it was a zombie dog.
Oh, okay,
Anyway,
good. No abuse to animals on this
but
podcast.
Silent Hill, I understand. I think it works for Silent Hill. Just the one-off movie thing. Or even Silent Hill would be interesting for a TV series because, again, Silent Hill, as you know, is always about one person coming into that town and then basically his fears, his, horrors come to life or whatever. So you could do it for so many different people and, coming in. Somebody that's, lost a loved one or, whatever, at some point a criminal comes in, so that I feel like it would work with that. Whereas I don't know, whatever. If they're gonna do it, fine. I'm just not that interested.
Half glass empty again with Dan this week.
Yeah.
No,
Man, it's
Silent
such a
Hill.
downer.
I will go see the Silent Hill movie if it comes out and looks interesting. But just I don't know.
We got a horror resurgence. We got Silent Hill games and movies
I
coming
am.
out. We got Resident
It is-
Evil TV shows and games coming out.
Bought my tickets to Sonic yesterday.
I thought
Nice.
oh god, I saw another commercial with it. I was like, ugh.
I don't know, I'm just gonna take it as a popcorn flick and hope for the best.
There might be a few goofy chuckles with Jim Carrey in it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's just a date night for her and I don't know if there's anything else coming out this weekend that's any good. I'm sure there's 5 other movies that are out right now that are all well-respected, high-rated movies.
Yeah. There's a lot of decent
I wouldn't
stuff
doubt
out.
it.
I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'm open to anything if it's good. Even if I'm not a huge Resident Evil fan, if they make a show and it's really, I'm not a huge Witcher fan, and I've been pushed to watch this Witcher series because I've heard such good word of mouth from most people. So I'm open. We'll see what happens.
Wait a minute. So you won't play the Witcher game, but you'll watch the show?
I said I'm open to watching the show if I find time.
But why would you watch the show but not play the game? I thought you don't like that time period.
There's a lot of reasons why I don't play the game. That's just one of the reasons it's hard for me to get into the game. But
Okay.
it's mostly because it's a really, really, really long game.
It's not
With the DLC?
That's if you want to do that. If you just want to do the main story, you can probably beat it in 30 hours.
That's a long time.
It's not much longer than, you playing Final Fantasy, 7 over and over
Final
again.
Fantasy VII is untouchable.
Yeah.
Not a good example.
It
this
is
crowd.
a fine example. Anyway, yes, 30 hours is a normal RPG. You can play that, and you can pick it up and
It's
put it down.
just one of those things. I didn't say I was watching the show. I just said,
No,
I've
but
heard
you
good
were.
word of mouth.
I just thought it was interesting that you'd be open to watching The Witcher.
I never said I wasn't not open to playing the game. I've mentioned several hundred times, oh yeah, I really should play that someday. But it's just one of those things where it's never been in the mood. Probably never going to be in the mood to watch the show either.
Okay, so it's the same kind of feeling for the game and the show.
For anything, I have to be in the mood for something. I'm not going to force myself to do anything. If I feel like doing something, I'm going to do it. If I feel like I'm having a rough day, I'm going to say so. Dan, stop attacking my feelings.
Oh, I'm attacking the feelings. 20-minute car ride.
Damn.
I told you it'd fall. No, but going to Matt's last thing, I am actually excited because I thought horror games were going to see a very sad and untimely end, because they were just kind of I think that was the very end of single player, or the fear that single player games with no multiplayer were just gonna drop off and end.
Well, they kept making bad ones. All the Resident Evil games were bad. All the Silent Hill games have been bad for the last 10 years.
It wasn't until they
So
started
they finally,
remaking
yeah,
their
they
old
finally made
games.
7, which was good, and then they remade 2, which was great.
Same thing
so.
with Final Fantasy.
Well, no, the Revelations were not bad. The 1 and 2 were not bad.
I don't know if I played those.
That's what I should have brought. I thought it when I got out of the car. I'll bring you both of them. You haven't played? I think you played Revelations.
Is that the one where they're on the sub?
Yes.
Or the boat? Yeah, I think I played at least one of those on. Was it
Okay.
on the
on the
DS?
DS.
Yeah, it was on the 3DS.
Yeah, then I
Yes,
played
yeah.
that.
But there's a Resident Evil. What the hell was the name of the title? Revelations 2 that you played as Barry and you played as Claire.
Wasn't there an Operation something
Operation
too?
Raccoon City. It was just kind of like a goofy Left 4 Dead shoot 'em up
Ah.
co-op game.
It's hard for me to keep track of the Resident Evil series.
I would absolutely love to play that game with you guys, but unfortunately, you'd have to play it all on the original Xbox 360 because it's not backwards compatible. Anyway, it's just that's one of those games that I know it got awful ratings, but I just love it. I don't know why.
One of my favorite games for the 360 isn't backwards compatible, and I'm pretty bummed because now I literally have no way to play it unless I rebought a 360. That's Transformers Fall of Cybertron. It's not
I never
backwards
played it.
compatible.
No, but
It was a
if the PlayStation
really good game. It's
if the PlayStation is backwards compatible with the PS3, you could just get it for PlayStation 3
that's
for,
so much work.
for a great game that you love.
I'm really hoping that Xbox will just port it over at some point.
Oh, if you end up getting one of the Xbox One
Xbox
X series,
One Series
whatever the hell it is,
X1.
if you get that at some
Xbox.
point, it is backwards compatible with that. Every game is going to be backwards compatible. So that was the cool thing.
We'll see if that system even comes out. They might just give up before if PS5 launches. It's out the door sales, and Xbox is you know what? We're not even gonna bother. Let's not try.
We've had it.
We've had a rough
Actually,
time.
guys, I would like to reintroduce you to the Connect.
Oh, God.
Anybody want that? It's Connect 3.
Oh my
It's a Connect
God.
3. Anybody interested? If you don't have internet, we have something for you. It's called Connect 2.
I don't know why I'm doing it.
I don't know. That's a really funny voice, though.
Anyway,
What was the final Connect game made?
Connectimals? I don't know. They
was one
started.
of the first.
Well, I feel like they were oh my god, full fledged. We got Fable Journey. We got nobody's buying it. Oh crap! All right. We got Dance. Oh, people playing that on the Wii. All right. Disneyland Tour Interactive. No, nobody bought that. Why did nobody buy? Oh crap! All right. You know what? Maybe this is just a good sub controller. We're gonna use voice commands in Mass Effect 3. Nobody used that. Oh. Okay.
Yeah, pretty much.
You can turn the Xbox on with it. No? All right. Guys, let's stop bundling this with the friggin' Xbox One and make it $100.
I see Kung Fu Connect released in 2016. That's
Ooh.
already later than I thought.
Kung Fu Connect.
Air Guitar Warrior released in 2017.
Oh,
Ooh,
good.
nice.
You know what's funny? I bet is that a physical game? Air Guard. Okay, because if it's a
I'm just
physical
looking
game,
at a list
I
on
guarantee you that's
XboxAddict.com.
super rare.
But yeah, Fall of Cybertron was a gem. It was kind of like Transformers. Was it Generations that came out for the Platinum Games made? I think it was called Transformers Generations. I can't remember now. It was that.
Yeah, it's a hack and slash, but
yeah, but it was both of those games. What they had in common was they were made for the fans because High Moon Studios, they do a lot of work for Call of Duty still. Like I think they just do like special effects and cleanup work, but they developed War for Cybertron and Fall of Cybertron. War for Cybertron sucked balls. It was not fun. It was bad. And then they fixed everything for Fall of Cybertron. It was really good. They switched it from a 3-player co-op to a single-player campaign. It was really well done. The multiplayer was solid. A lot of references for the fans. It was a really awesome game. And then they went nowhere after that. I think the next game in the series was it was just licensed to some other like B studio by Activision, and then kind of like the movies, they just sucked.
Were these like standalone games? Because I feel like those are the kind of games that I wouldn't even like contemplate thinking about looking at, just because I'm like, I don't know what's going on in the Transformers world. I don't know who's good or bad or who's
Fall
like,
of Cybertron. Well, the bad guys
other
are the
motives.
Decepticons, the good guys are the Autobots. I should do a Transformers podcast. I would be able to.
you want to do a lot of
Transformers-
podcasts.
Transformers, Power Rangers, and Zelda. Just make a podcast all about those 3 topics. That's what I know most about. War for Cybertron was really cool because the trailer for the game, which had a really good song to it, premiered during the Game Awards that year. And, it was really hyped up and, got good ratings. It was really well deserved. And then, just nothing happened after that. But, it surprises me that, you just not know of the games, or it's just like one of those things you pass by in GameStop and be like, I don't know anything about that.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't really get like, they weren't well heavily marketed, and I just kind of glossed over them. I wouldn't even think, oh, this is a game I should check out.
Fall of Cybertron had like the full cardboard displays at GameStop. Maybe not War for Cybertron. War for Cybertron didn't really get that marketing push. But Matt, what have you been playing this week?
I played the Phantasy Star Online 2 beta this weekend.
Oh, tell us about that. I'm very excited to hear your thoughts about that.
It started like I think I had been complaining last week that it's like this like 30-hour window they're doing from Friday night to Saturday night, and of course as soon as everyone signed on Friday night, like the servers went down for 2 or 3 hours, so no one could get on, and everyone was trying to log on and it wasn't working, which kind of compounds the issue that there's like certain unlockables that you can only get by playing. You have to beat these like 4 urgent missions out of like 7 or 8 that they're having during the time period, and like 2 of those the server was just off completely while it was happening, so it's like you can't get your your little sweet extras that you can only get from the beta, like the Dreamcast mag that follows you around.
This is normally when Dan flies in and talks about how horrible online-only games are.
Oh god, how did you have to remind him?
Well, I don't know. It didn't seem like he was listening.
Phantasy Star is like an MMO though. It's not like it's not like a game that can't be played online. So
Well, that's designed for that.
yeah,
Ghost Recon
it's very specifically
not.
designed for it.
Fallout 76 was designed for that specifically.
No, they can fuck right off.
But yeah,
There
so
he is.
I had never played this game. It definitely feels, because the game came out in 2012 in Japan. It definitely feels like an older game. Just like I don't know, like graphically, it doesn't look that strong. A lot of the shooting it just kind of feels like you're going to you start in the sub area where you get like missions from tons of guys, and there's like shops, and it's going to be a free to play game. So a lot of it is like, okay, there's timers, and like you need to craft things, and you need to get materials, which I'm assuming you can just buy and stuff like that too. But so you just kind of queue up. You can either do like a story mission or just kind of like roam the area. And when you roam the area, you're just like kind of doing like, a few areas of the map, and then you just kind of it like completes when you get to the end. So it ended up feeling a little bit more repetitive than I thought it was going to be. I mean, you can choose like any sort of class. They have basically the stand-ins for like healers, magic. There's a few different melee types, but they're all kind of unique. Like there's one that's like a dancer type, and there's a guy that wields a sword, and force magic, which is basically just different like magic that you can use. So they all kind of have unique play styles. I was playing as like a gunner guy and just kind of shooting. and I got to level like 25 or 28 or something like that.
Oh.
Yeah, so it goes up to at least 75, and then once you get to level 20, you can unlock like a subclass, so you can have like a second class at a time. And it's interesting. They've got different like skill trees where you can every level you get a skill point where you can like increase your accuracy or get modify one of your moves that you can use, which is pretty fun. And I was able to get into matches pretty easily with other people, but there wasn't really any communicating. Like no one, as far as I could tell, had any mics. I was trying to figure out, I couldn't get a mic to work on mine, so I was just kind of playing. And for the most part, everyone just kind of does what you want, but it also feels a little bit like lifeless, just because you're not really talking or interacting with each other much. And you don't really need to. Like you can do most of these levels, or the ones that I played at least, solo. I know there's going to be kind of, ones later on that I'm sure are a lot harder, and you need like 12 people instead of 4 people. But yeah, it wasn't as exciting as I was hoping it was going to be. I think that might just because of the, because it's like a 6-7-year-old game. We have a lot of like, Diablo and Destiny that have kind of like built on.
Not to mention you play WoW a lot, so you're constantly comparing it to that, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's definitely
What about Dauntless?
Well, I mean, WoW's like a 15-year-old, 20-year-old game that's, still holds up, I think, better than Phantasy Star. Yeah, Dauntless was pretty fun too, but that was
more like a Monster Hunter, right?
It's like Monster
yeah,
Hunter
that was more Monster Hunter. This one,
Yeah.
this one has just like a ton of different enemies. Like it's kind of like you would go into like a Diablo where you would have that hub world and you would go out and do like a mission on a floor and kill a bunch of different monsters, and sometimes there'd be like a boss at the end. Mostly it's pretty easy, and so they do have those like urgent quests that I was talking about, where like it'll come up on your screen 15 minutes before the urgent quest is going to come up. And it's like, oh, we're getting ready a mission because of this thing's happening. And then once it comes up, you have 30 minutes to do it or to like enter it. So everyone's trying to do those at the same time because you get like special extra rewards for doing that, which is kind of neat that it kind of funnels people all to play together for those things. But it's also kind of like we had to check online to see when they're going to come up so that you know when you're going to be on at the right time, which is kind of frustrating. But yeah, outside of that, I guess I enjoyed it somewhat, but it's what you would expect. It's more Phantasy Star.
You didn't get the feeling that you wanted to out of it. Like you were really psyched for that game.
Yeah,
I was psyched for it, but I don't know. It doesn't feel like a game that would be fun to play over like a long period of time. Especially like it has that World War Z problem where like maybe if there was other people that I was playing with, like on mics, it would be a lot more fun. And I think some of the disappointment is just because the different there's so many different items that drop and they're not really clear about what's the best thing for you to be doing. There are like story quests that you can do, but a lot of the times it'll just like you'll press on the story quest and it'll just go to like a video, and then like 3 minutes later you'll just like exit out and you'll have completed the mission. So in the storyline itself, I didn't do too many missions, but it wasn't really like cohesive or anything. It was basically like, oh, here's a bunch of arcs on the ship and you're gonna fight all the bad guys, but it didn't really seem to go anywhere in the in the couple hours I played of the storyline. So. Maybe I'll give it another chance. It is free to play. Some people seem to enjoy it, but yeah, it wasn't quite as.
Oh, is it going to be free to play when it launches too?
Yes.
Oh well, I mean, at least there's that.
Yeah, I think you might need. You'll probably need Xbox Live to play it. But.
Oh yeah, it's going to be an Xbox exclusive, right?
Yeah,
that's so weird.
At first,
like
it's coming out on Xbox first, and then it'll be on. Yeah, it'll be on PC, and I think it will probably be on PS4 at some point too. But. Who knows when? By that time, we'll probably be playing PS5.
What else have you been playing?
I've been playing Final Fantasy VII.
No. There's one more thing you have to talk about with Phantasy Star Online 2.
Okay.
The secret you found with the advertisement.
Oh, yeah, that was kind of cool. So I was walking around the hub world, and there was like a video screen display, and it was literally just playing the Sonic movie trailer. And you can go up to it and you can like hear it, and it's just kind of interesting that it's kind of built into the wall. And if you walk more than a few feet away, the sound will completely stop, so it's not like super.
It's not like in your face either. Wasn't it like in the corner of a map?
Yeah, it was in like a corner of a place.
Just like a funny little Easter egg.
But I feel like that's something that games should do, especially to cut down costs, because they're always trying to to find ways to save money and do DLC and things like that. But I remember playing what was it? Bionic Commando. And it was supposed to take place in like a ruined, like kind of, sort of war-ridden America. But you would fly through the city, and there was signs. Like one of them was like a Pepsi sign, and then another one was like Doritos. It was it worked for what it is.
That can get really annoying, though. I think it's
It can
not
get a little
Yeah,
annoying, but
once you open that floodgate,
Yeah, it just
yeah, but
gets
you
so
just do it
bad.
a little bit, or even like during.
It is a free-to-play game, so I mean, you can't really fault them too much.
That's fine too, but I
well,
I
they
don't,
also it's Sega, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's what I don't mind if a company does a little bit of advertising in the game, as long as it's not like, I don't know if you saw that issue with
Was it NBA or something?
No, well, NBA and Streets of Rage, not Streets of Rage, Street Fighter did it, where if you put on like these logos or something on your thing,
yeah,
you would get a bonus experience on top of what you already got. So it was an extra incentive to wear the logos that they were advertising. Like, that's too much. But I'm talking about, like, if you're... Only if the game calls for it. If you're running around on The Witcher and all of a sudden you see a Tide thing, like, yeah, that doesn't make sense. But if, like, you're in Grand Theft Auto and somebody, I don't know, you see a Bud Light, like, sign or something, I think that would be kind of neat. A little bit realism.
I don't know. I would be worried about the floodgates. I worry that once games start messing with the advertising, that's just going to open up like a cell phone level, like a cell phone game level of like.
What would you rather? Would you rather the game be $60 and all the DLCs included, and just maybe a little bit of?
That's the problem. There's not going to be just a little bit of advertising.
Yeah, if they could find a way to cut down...
I can understand like a racing game or something like that because, you know...
hockey was...
Well, yeah, stuff like that. There's ads in real life. It kind of immersifies you.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like Grand Theft Auto... Well, it's got
None of the games I care about are going to have like...
Well, yeah, but you
just
don't...
little ads in the background. You know, that it would be... it would have to be a modern game.
Well, I mean, we played one and there was advertisement in the game the whole time recently.
What game?
It starred Walking Dead dude.
Oh, Death Stranding?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Monster Energy? But that was... It worked. It was
There was
just...
a Monster Energy ad in that game?
Oh,
No,
it's blatant, yeah.
You whenever he goes to like his like resting area, on the table there's always like 5 Monster Energy drinks. The only problem is you couldn't
swing
just
them back and you get a bunch of
and you had
stamina or
to
whatever.
drink like press the button like 4 times to get the full thing. So you had to sit there and hit, watch him drink it, and then third one it opened in your face.
I also just don't want to see that.
But it works it's supposed to be a little bit of realism.
It works because everyone gets to go, oh, Hideo. Like, that's...
Wait, it works because in a
Kojima.
post-apocalyptic world, Monster Energy drink somehow survived?
No, but someone could have a stash of it. It's not unrealistic. And some, I'm pretty sure either DayZ or what's the other one that you come down and like Fortnite has some stuff like that where they have like realistic things in the game.
Fortnite doesn't count as a real game, though.
All right.
It's already free to play. What does it matter how many ads are in that game? I don't care about that game.
No, that's true. But I mean,
I'm fine paying a fair price for a fair amount of work. I don't need them to cram ads to make it cheaper for me.
no, but companies have already done this. This isn't something new. People have done this in games, and it hasn't got out of hand. So if a company can work just like with Sega, work with the movie company, they still needed to license something.
Sega
probably.
owns Sonic. Sega advertised their own product in their own game.
Well, yeah, but I would assume that they have to get acknowledgement from certain...
Sega is probably making money off of the movie and wanted to push the movie.
All right. Well, I didn't know if maybe there would be some sort of licensing issues. I don't know if it's the film company, like if they allowed them to use that, or I don't know all the legal stuff. All I'm saying is I don't mind a little bit when it's Easter egg type. Obviously, if it's
seeing the
Watch
Sonic trailer
Dogs.
was funny. That
Yeah.
was really funny. It was really cute. That wasn't like an in-your-face
No, and that's
ad,
what
but it
company.
was also free for them to do.
Well, yeah, but what I'm just saying, in some games, I think it could work, and to save a little bit of money off from the player. If you're like, all right, we want to inflect or not inflect, we want to introduce a little bit of this to take money away or to save the consumer some money. So instead, like, if Watch Dogs did something where they had energy drinks in the game or something, I wouldn't care.
I feel like if EA had their hands on an ad, they would try to
EA is
blow up that ad. Or, I'm sorry, Ubisoft. Ubisoft, maybe.
Ubisoft could do it,
Blow it up.
but it works for. I think it would work for their games. Like if say
Put Doritos in ancient Greece for.
okay, not that type. Watch
That's what I'm saying. It can only be modern games.
It has to be appropriate to what it is. Obviously, again, you can't play Red Dead Redemption 2, and you can't have. Obviously, you can have the gun manufacturers. That's technically some games actually have the real gun manufacturers.
That's historically accurate.
It's historically accurate.
Not advertising a gun from the early 1900s and expecting people to go out and buy it.
No,
it's not an ad.
No, but there is like some games actually have the vehicles in it, or that's what I'm talking about. Little sense of realism. Like say you're at like Watch Dogs 3. Say you're at it's supposed to be London or whatever. Like if you're walking by one of those like bus stop things where you see those advertisements come up, and you saw an advertisement for another Ubisoft game or something, or I mean, Hideo.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. But I feel like the problem with this is like a lot of the times if you have like one specific ad in a video game like that, it kind of takes me out of it. Not because like there's something wrong with an ad, but because like we see ads everywhere. We see Nike hats. We see Bruins hats. We see beer commercials. We see everything, but like they specifically take everything out of those worlds. So when you're in a Watch Dogs city, it's kind of like it's this kind of weird. There's literally no ads anywhere. But if you see one, like if you keep seeing Doritos over and over, it's like it's gonna take me out of it. Not because I don't see Doritos ads in real life, but because there's literally no other ads around it, like in real life. So it's like completely separate.
I'm not saying it can't be done. I'm not saying that. I mean, like the Monster Energy drink thing, that was kind of just like a funny nod. I'm sure that was the only mention of that in the game.
No, there was other companies in that game. I forget exactly what it was.
Or like obviously when you there are some games where they do license specific things. But like Matt said, I don't want it to be blatantly obvious, and I feel like if you do make a deal with a company, it's going to be blatantly obvious no matter what happens.
Yeah.
Like the Transformers movies made a deal with GMC. What do you fucking know? Every single car was a GMC car. They didn't have any other. Or General Motors, they made a deal with GM. Every single car was made by GM. Like no other cars were used.
Yeah, but
in any
was
of
it
those
enough
movies.
to take you out that you noticed that? Like I feel like that would be so minor.
When Michael Bay keeps passing the camera right over the logo of the cars over and over again, or the Transformers movies ended up towards the end, especially got really bad with their placement. As there was this one like really horrible moment in the I don't know, whatever one had Wahlberger in it.
I never saw any of them.
There was a Bud Light ad in the movie, and it was like so blatantly obvious that it was a Bud Light ad in the movie. Like it was just insane. But yeah, I don't know. I would worry about companies getting the idea that this could be a common practice, because I feel like the larger producers would really exploit that. Like I can see Activision and EA really going ham on that.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, and it can get out of hand.
Or Bethesda, God forbid, next thing you know, you're playing in Skyrim, you turn around, the Bud Light Knight is there from those like old-timey commercials.
I think that would be fun.
Except they would probably cram it down your throat. Yes, that would be funny.
Yeah, I mean,
actually.
I'm sure they're doing as much as they can get away with at this time anyway. So.
Yeah. So anyways, you were playing Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what there's to really say about that, because I'm sure we'll be talking about it a lot, like in a month and a half.
I can talk about that game for the next hour and a half if you feel like.
No, that's fine. So I got past the Midgar part. I'm like about 10 hours in. I'm right before you go to Cosmo Canyon with Red 13. But yeah, I was a little bit surprised by how, I know we had already talked about how short Midgar is, but I was kind of surprised about how short it was and how few really like points of interest there are in that part of the game. Like all you're really doing is, you're going to the 2 reactors, you're going to the Honeybee Inn, and then you're going to the Shinra Corporation Tower. That's like 90% of it, and then there's a little walking through the towns and things like that. But 90% of it is just those kind of 3 major plot points extended over like an hour and a half each. You don't get a single summon in that point of the game. You don't get like the magic you have. It's mostly
very limited.
Yeah, it's mostly like first level magic,
fire, ice, and lightning.
Yeah, exactly.
Pure.
Like there's a lot of materia that you don't even, let alone getting to a second rank, you just don't even get access to like, different like steel and things like that.
If you're lucky, you'll get to maybe your 4th limit break, maybe. for Cloud. Not really for
That would be
everybody.
high. I would imagine the average player would get to like maybe their second limit break because I had to.
No, not fourth tier, fourth literal. So like the second tier.
Yeah, that
fourth
still seems
limit.
like a lot to me.
Yeah.
Because like when I got out of Midgar, I think I was like I still had just the first 1 or 2 of every limit break, and then I just kind of grinded out some more out in the fields. But
Yeah, my playthrough, I'm really trying to grind a little more because I do know it is really horrible at the end of the game when suddenly you're 72, but you want to go face Sephiroth, but you want to be level 99. And it's really hard to level up all the way. But
I remember running around the third CD.
yeah, it just makes me wonder if like at first I thought they were just kind of widen out those points, but it seems like I would imagine they would have to kind of add like whole other plot points, like whole other
I think
areas.
Midgar is
going to
be a
to.
completely open world
Yeah, it's gonna be like
with
completely-
mini missions and
yeah,
stuff like that. I
completely-
know they haven't given us
I would
any
imagine, yeah,
reason to
side
believe
quests,
that, but
new
It would
enemies.
just give more immersion to Midgar too, which would
Yeah.
be neat. And it would just, like I said, it would just add on to,
Do you think it opens
doesn't
the
Midgar
same?
get destroyed?
I feel like that's a big thing. Do you think it's gonna? It has
think
to,
they
right?
need
On the
to.
train, yeah, because it's such an iconic
they
opening.
Can't change that. They can't
yeah.
change
I
that.
mean, I'm sure I'm gonna love it regard. I'm
Him
gonna
hopping
say
out of the train? Are you
Yeah.
kidding me? That's gotta be.
I'm gonna say right now I will try to, but this is like one of the few occasions where I'm gonna say like it's gonna be hard for me not to be biased about the game. That's just how it is.
Well, of course, it's your favorite.
Yeah, it's and it already looks like it's gonna be great. Although then again, I guess even things that I love and enjoy, I can poke fun at. But I would say that they need to start off like that. Like that's like every single thing they've done has always started off like that. Like the trailers have started out like that. Remember when they remade that
For
beginning
PlayStation
scene
3
with
or
the
something?
PlayStation 3
Yeah, the tech
footage?
demo.
Yep.
Yeah, that was what they did. Like I think they'll start off that way. I don't think there's any worry about that.
Yeah, I wonder how much that first mission is gonna differ because the first mission is only like 20 minutes and it's pretty quick.
They'll probably do a lot more to get you used
Yeah,
to
a lot
the
more
new
tutorials
fighting
because I imagine
style.
it's more complex than obviously the first game.
Have they shown whether like you bump into an enemy and then you go into like a fight zone, or is it literally
They
the
haven't really
world
shown.
is that?
I think they're just around the world, maybe. Kind of like a current Pokemon.
Okay, so see that's.
But I don't
Yeah,
know.
I've
I
been
don't
kinda,
know.
Or
I've
like
been kind of avoiding
Fantasy.
the coverage, and the little coverage that they have, I don't think it's been very like detailed about like all the ins and outs and the menus.
Honestly,
and
you
kind of
guys
those-
are avoiding nothing. They haven't really shown anything.
Yeah, there was.
They've shown a lot of gameplay though.
I don't feel like they've shown too.
I imagine if I was searching, I would have
Really?
more answers to some of
I
these
keep
questions.
seeing, like,
we don't even.
Battlefield-
Yeah,
like,
but we
they're
don't
sh-
even know if the battles are random or not. Like how much are they
haven't
actually
that,
shown?
but they've shown a lot of combat, and I've had to avoid a lot of it because this is one of those games that I want to come back and just remember it from what I did from when I played it in college. I just want to remember the music. I want to remember all of it when I play it. That's what I did with Resident Evil 2, and I loved going back, like having those nostalgia factors of like, oh my god, I remember walking down this hall.
Yeah, the soundtrack in this game is crazy good. It's like every dumb sound, every dumb music cue
Yep.
is amazing.
And it's like even like the most minuscule tracks I know by heart.
Yeah,
I'm
just like
humming
the
it in my
Chocobo
head.
Ranch is
Oh, the
very unique
casino
and
was gonna be
special. The
addicting
casino,
as
like
hell.
Oh yeah,
Cosmo Canyon.
Gold Saucer song. I love that
Yuffie.
one.
the boss fights, the
Fuck
regular fights, like
off.
everything has its own unique music
Yeah.
that would be like kind of it would stand out in any other game, but they kind of all stand out.
She is not taking my materia this time around.
Well, I guess you're gonna skip that mission. I think it's the same person who did the music for the original that's doing the music for this one.
I mean, you can't have it any other
Nubo,
way.
Nobu, I forget his name.
Matsu,
He did it for FF10 too. Like he's been doing.
Yeah,
it.
he
Really?
did, he did a bunch of
Yeah.
them, and then he's
Oh, no
kind
wonder
of
why
like,
I love the 10 music.
So one of the things though that I think is different, like you said, like Midgar was really quick and you got through a lot of the game quick. We also know exactly where to go and what to do. So I
Yeah,
think that adds
that's
to
true.
it a little bit.
yeah, I wonder how long it would take someone that's never played it if it's like drastically different or not.
That's another thing. I also want to be able to figure it out again, especially if they change it up a little bit.
It is pretty jarring to play the version I've been playing. I was even playing it just a few minutes before we started the podcast on my Switch. That version is basically the port of the PC version. It's the same version I have on PlayStation 4 as well. It is jarring to match that to what Matt's playing. Matt's been playing it on his PlayStation Mini or
Classic.
PlayStation Classic, whatever it is. It's a mini version of the PlayStation.
Which is the best.
Which is the original port of the game.
Yeah.
And it's funny because there's only one difference between the two, and that's that they took the polygons and basically, it's not that they even cleaned them up. It's just the aspect ratio is greater, so they look clean. But that's it. They didn't. It's not
all
like
the
they
character models look a
remastered
lot
the game
better.
or anything like that. It's just the models look clean, and it didn't really. I had always just thought like, oh, it just looks a little better. But then I watched his. I'm like, oh my god, it is so pixelated. It looks. Even that little change was so huge, and they didn't even really change that much. So it's funny. But yeah, I replaying it. It's just
because you're replaying it too.
Yeah,
right?
I can't wait. It's making me fall in love with the game all over again.
We should have it in 3 weeks, but we're not. We're gonna have it in a month and a half.
Pretty close. I know. I'm pretty close
March
to
10th is gonna be hard. March. When was the original date? Was it March 3rd?
March 20th.
I think March 3rd.
March 3rd
was
I
the
think
original
you're right.
date.
Okay.
That's
March
gonna be a rough
20th is
day.
Animal Crossing. I have that date burned into my head. I'm pretty close to re-cementing it as officially my favorite game ever, yet again. So it didn't really ever leave that, but I know there was like a lot of talk about like, what is my favorite game ever? And
Well, you'll
it's
always be
kind
able
of-
to say the Final Fantasy VII.
It's up there,
Two.
no matter
well,
what.
now you can say 2 games because it's
Yeah.
the same game. It's just modernized. So
Well,
It's
we'll
kinda
see.
like
Who knows?
anything else where it's like, do you really
I don't
have a
think he's
favorite?
not gonna like it. Me? It used to be.
Well, no. So with anything, it's like, do you really have a favorite, or do you just have like, there's that kind of tier, that
There's
upper
a
echelon
tier,
tier, like
for me, Silent Hill 2 and Mass Effect.
first or second?
No, you can't. It's
Just Mass Effect in general,
Yeah, the first
not Andromeda.
first 3, yeah. And then
and a half.
Metal Gear Solid 2 and Metal Gear Solid 1, Metal Gear Solid 4. Those were upper echelon for me. That I'll always remember. I'll always want to go back and replay them over and over again.
Do you know what's funny? The most exciting thing to me about the PS5 is the fact that I'll get to play Metal Gear Solid 4 if it is backwards compatible, because that's a game that I will buy. And
Why are you got to play the other ones first?
I have the other ones. It's hard for me
Well,
to
yeah, but
want
you
to
might-
play
you might-
through the series if I don't have that one, though.
I'll let you borrow my PlayStation.
I'm not hooking up a PlayStation 3 just to play that one.
That's what I did. I
game.
borrowed my giant,
Wait,
my
doesn't
friend's
he have a
giant
PlayStation
PS3.
3?
No.
I
Really?
borrowed my friend's giant PS3 and brought it over my house one time and just played it through an entire weekend. I just played nothing but Metal Gear Solid 4. This was the only PS3 game I was always like, I wish I had a PS3.
Because
I
you
mean,
can't
there's-
get it anywhere. You can
No.
only play it on PS3.
Nope. Unless of course, Blue Point Games is freaking gonna make.
Would you no more mentioning them on this podcast?
All right,
They're
banned.
a bunch of Twitter jerks who
Banned.
don't say anything.
But yeah, Final Fantasy VII. I'm sure it's going to be great. I'm sure I'm going to absolutely love it. Please don't Red Dead Redemption 2 me.
Oh man!
Oh,
what
they
if,
can't.
Oh,
They're not
no.
gonna do
it's
that.
possible. It
They're
could
not
be
gonna-
really
How are
bad.
they gonna do that? How could they royally screw it up?
It
They
could be.
can't.
It could
Take
be
an hour to have Cloud pick up a weapon.
It could be like a 12-hour game, and then it ends
would they
anticlimactically.
The Buster Sword's getting a little scratched up. You have to clean it up, clean off your blade after every time. I don't know. Red Dead Redemption 2 made you do a lot of mediocre shit.
Yeah, but they're going for realism in that game. Final Fantasy VII is not going for realism. They're just going for better graphics. And
I don't know. Final Fantasy 15 let me down too. So
Final Fantasy 15 let
Yeah.
almost everyone down.
It could let us down if it's because they're claiming it's a full 40-hour game, but what if it's really just it's not that much more than what was in Midgar from the
that's
original?
3 hours. 4 hours maybe tops.
Yeah, what if it was
That's
only
nothing.
what if it was only 12 hours or
They're
something?
not.
Now?
I am
They are so
honestly-
confident in this.
They're very confident.
I don't think if they weren't confident, they would be not really showing much. They would hide it a little
Square
bit.
Enix is more or less one of the few developers that are in good light right now. They haven't really pissed anybody off in the past few years, unlike basically all of the other gems, Blizzard, Activision, EA, Bethesda. They've all kind of been royally fucking up. Square Enix, while they haven't made any huge waves, they haven't done anything.
They haven't made a great Final Fantasy game in a while, though.
That's true.
They've just been remaking the old ones.
Well, the
13
14s or what's the online
15
one?
wasn't great. 14.
14 has been
14 was good, but it was just like an online. That's
well,
very
I guess
different.
whatever the latest expansion was, people were obsessed with it.
Well, not only that, it's been better for a few years now. They really went to town on redoing that game. And
Oh,
making
I
it
was
better.
going to say 15 wasn't that good. Yeah, no, 15 was
I lied to myself and told myself 15 was good for like an
15
hour.
had so much potential. I was like, it's such a cool idea. Like, you're the prince, like, underneath this king, and it's like you have this group of, like, you have a groupie, and then you drive it around in a fancy car, and then everything just got ruined because you're like, oh, the car can't go off the road.
And Matt
like, and it's
basically
like,
convinced me not to play the 13 saga.
ugh,
Yeah, those
touch it.
aren't good.
You didn't. What you needed
I mean,
him
those
to
are
convince
okay.
you to not play it?
No.
The battle system alone should
No,
have.
the paradigm system can suck my fat cock.
That sounds.
I loved that was my favorite part about those
it's
games
like-
was the fighting.
it's
the
like
paradigm
watching-
system. Like, it was really fast paced. That's what I want in like a Final Fantasy game. Like, I want it to be turn based, but like really fast. Like
yeah, then go
10-2
play Final
or
Fantasy
Final Fantasy
10-2
15.
again.
Square Enix, if you're listening, I swear to God, if the paradigm system ends up in Final Fantasy VII Remake,
But
will
I feel like
murder
that would
every last
be
one of you.
essentially that would be like Final Fantasy VII if you were like telling them like, all right, use this materia, and then they just kind of decide if they want to or not, because that's like the paradigm thing. It was like, heal when you want to, like, yeah. I couldn't. I didn't
paradigm
like that
system
shift.
wasn't working for me. I'm
I
sorry.
didn't.
Matt.
I mean, it's not that some people liked it, some people didn't. Just wasn't for me. I thought I felt like
sure. Matt's allowed to feel things he wants to feel, but when Andy feels things and has opinions, it's fuck
20-minute
off.
car
Andy.
ride. Shut up.
That's one of the one things about Final Fantasy the remake that I'm worried about is the battle system.
That's what for you guys.
Because like I don't want it to stray too far from the original.
I think it's gonna be a good mix.
It's gonna be like
Yeah, but-
I mean, it looks like a Kingdom Hearts fighting, which isn't bad, but I don't know if that's what I want out of a
See,
FF7
I
remake.
wish you guys had played Greedfall.
I hope it's not
And
Kingdom
they-
Hearts fighting.
I mean, they did say that there's going to be like an option for turn-based,
Yes.
but I usually like to stay with the default of like how they actually intended you to play it.
Well, yeah,
And,
that's
like,
probably what it's heavily designed for. But
yeah.
Was Final Fantasy 15 successful?
Financially?
I bet it was. I don't.
Like the reception. I know the story was bad, but did people
I don't.
enjoy?
I just keep flashing back to listening to that Game Scoop episode where the guy's like, yeah, I decided I was going to stop playing Final Fantasy 15 because I don't like it, and I'm not going to force myself to play it. And that's what got me to be like, you know what? I'm not enjoying it either. Should I force myself to play this?
Yeah, I think it got pretty bad reviews or like bad reception when it first came out, just solely based on the storyline not making sense and like not being finished. And then I guess they went back and fixed some of it, which even on my second playthrough, I couldn't make it through the whole game because I just kind of got bored.
I mean,
It was actually like a
has-
horror game towards the end.
has some good Metacritic ratings. 81 Metascore, 7.6 user score.
So I mean,
yeah, it's not like atrocious. It's just like it's
No,
not,
it
it's
was just
uninspired. It's not really
a lot of the
amazing.
side missions were all the same. It was you go to the town and they give you the same 3.
Yeah, the side quests were
Yeah,
kinda boring.
were
It was kind of like in
boring.
13 where there wasn't a lot of like, but it wasn't as bad as 13 where there wasn't as lot of like characters and emotion, and it was just kind of like like you were saying, just kind of do here, go here, kill this guy, come back.
Yeah.
like the hunts. That was a lot of the side quests. There wasn't a lot of like like you would find in The Witcher or something.
Yeah, The Witcher, the level design. I mean, mission structure like The Witcher was great, but they do something similar that I wonder if Final Fantasy is going to do, and it kind of bleeds between where you can almost like pause time, and you can just spin around the battlefield and decide what all right, this guy is he's strong against this, so I need to. I should switch to Barrett or something, and he looks like he can take more damage against bullets. You can do that in Greedfall. Greedfall, you can pause the entire map, and you can kind of move around and see, what's going on.
Like a
and what
Matrix type thing.
Yeah, and
And I believe you can do that to like you can switch characters in the remake. Like I remember hearing a little intro about they were like fighting that scorpion boss, and
Yeah,
there's
and
points
yes.
where like you can only shoot someone with Barrett, so you switch to him, and then you can use his his
Oh,
gun.
depending on where the like when the scorpion like went
Yeah.
too far away, you had to switch to Barrett and use his
Yeah.
like ranged weapon.
See, I also don't want to get too excited about using Barrett the way I'm thinking, because I don't think it'll be like be able to aim where you want. I feel like it's going to be auto lock.
Oh yeah, it'll probably be point and click.
That's what I'm thinking. That's why I'm not getting excited to play as anybody except Cloud and like maybe Sid. Does he have a staff or something?
Yeah.
And then Yuffie's thing would be pretty cool. The blade thingy. As long as she doesn't friggin' take my material.
I mean, I generally liked all the characters.
Oh,
except for Kate Sith.
Oh, I actually.
Yeah,
liked
he
him.
was weird.
I never knew if it was the balloon thing or the thing on his head.
I mean, they were both robots.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert. for a game that's really old.
Yeah, he's a weird character.
What? Don't give me that look. What's that look for?
I forgot that.
Well, game's old. So here's the
Go
thing.
ahead, I'm going to spoil Metal Gear Solid 4 for you right now.
That was just mean. You've played Final Fantasy VII.
Here's the difference. It was like 10 years ago.
I can't keep track of that. So,
shut up.
Final Fantasy 15, I think the big reason that it didn't resonate for me is because it didn't do the one thing that a lot of the other Final Fantasies did. And actually, 13 failed at this too.
Do you make characters that were interesting?
Well, Final Fantasy 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. That was like the big chunk that I played and loved. Didn't really play 12, couldn't get into the battle system, and then 13 had the same problem as 15. But that chunk, you all had me spend time getting to know, liking, and enjoying being with those characters. They really fermented. Final Fantasy 15, the first thing they do is give you the 4 characters, give each one of them a very outlandish, you know their personality because of what they do. Here's the selfie guy, here's the reserve guy, here's the big brood, here's your, I'm trying to be emo guy, and you didn't really
I heard you like food. Here.
Yeah, you didn't want me to get to know about these characters. You just wanted me to know what the stereotype of the character was. Final Fantasy 13, it's hard for me to remember because it was such a long time ago, but I feel like I enjoyed those characters somewhat in that game in my first playthrough. I loved the guy with the chocobo and his afro. He was pretty fun. And,
that guy was goofy.
You knew Lightning was
he was a very good Final Fantasy character for that game. He was very just something about maybe a little
animated.
bit campy, just a little bit campy that worked.
Yeah,
but then you had the little
Final
girl.
Fantasy
with
13 was weird.
It was just
But anyways, the other games though, 6 through 10, all of which even if I haven't played through all of them, I generally enjoyed the characters in all of them. Really fermented what the characters were. They made you care about the characters. In Final Fantasy VII, I would say 6 and 7 the most. Made me really care about those characters. I would probably put 10 up there, except I didn't play as much 10 as you guys did. I know 10, the story gets pretty deep in that too. So, FF15 just didn't do that.
Yeah, not at all.
10, I don't think there was one character on your team that I didn't like. Maybe
Kamari was
Riku a little
boring.
bit. Oh, I like Kamari. Just something about him.
I think
it was because he was so wrapped in mystery. You didn't know what the hell he was doing, or
He wasn't
maybe
very
he
good
was
as a fighter though, on your team, which is kind of a separate issue. But
Are you kidding me? If I always threw him in for battles,
Really?
big battles,
I just avoided ever using
because you could. He basically was kind of like that character when you played Lost Odyssey, where he absorbs the ability. Yeah. So every time you use that ability, you steal it, and then depending on the luck or the percentages, you would keep that ability permanently. Kamari, he's one of the characters in Final Fantasy X.
Matt, did you keep playing Lost Odyssey or did you stop?
No, he stopped.
I stopped pretty quickly.
I couldn't remember. I just remember you played it.
I didn't play it very long.
Oh.
I got frustrated by how difficult it was. I kept dying at normal mobs while I was trying to level up.
But you're immortal. How did you die?
I find a way, Dan.
That.
I was just so confused. I was like, how does he die? He's immortal.
Anything else you've been playing, Matt?
No, pretty much it.
What about you, Dano?
I'm trying to think. Last week, I started a new game that I don't know if I'm gonna continue very much again because I thought I'd be excited about it, but I played it for about an hour yesterday and nothing happened. I died twice of starvation. DayZ.
Isn't that really old game that started the
Yeah.
Yes.
Was that the
the battle royale genre?
Co-op one?
It's basically you get dropped in a world. It's kind of like Fortnite, except you take time between everything.
Is this a game you've played
Yes.
prior, but you played it
I put it on PC.
and you played it quite a bit, right? Back in the day? Or am I thinking of a different zombie one that you played a lot on the PC? I just feel like there was this PC zombie game or PS4 zombie game that you were really into, and it was kind of like a co-op survival-based zombie game. I mean, every zombie game is kind of a...
Dying Light?
It might have been Dying Light, but anyway. So DayZ just wasn't doing it for you.
It sucks because it has the structure of a really fun game, but it's just, you want to talk about Red Dead Redemption being like too realistic. This is dumb. I landed in the middle of the woods. I did a 360. There's not a goddamn like structure around me within like a mile. I was like, what the hell?
Now,
they give you no guidance. I was looking at, like, I went on, like, a quick 10 tips for, like, new people. And one of them was, like, he's telling me about looking at the sun and telling me what direction, and you need to do this.
They're super survivalists.
I was like,
wow.
What the... Yeah, and then, like, I fought a zombie, but I guess I got bitten, so I was permanently losing health, like, wicked fast.
That sounds rough.
It's just... Not only that, like I played it for 20 minutes and I died of starvation. I was like, "What the?"
It's a pretty old game.
Yeah, well, they just
initial release.
They redid it or they touched it up and they put it on consoles. And I guess it's also like you can do base building and stuff like that. And I read a thing the other day from the company who made it that said, here's our roadmap going forward, and one of them is going to allow you to play like offline and be able to build like a base and stuff like that. And that kind of reminded me of like Fallout 4. And what are you looking at?
Scores?
I was looking at user scores are pretty bad.
Oh, not just user scores.
It's clunky.
I mean, Metacritic, it's only based off of 6 reviews, and this is specifically the PS4 version.
Yeah, it's clunky. It's definitely clunky. Like I bumped into 3 zombies and I clearly got away from them, but then it pulled me back in the middle of all 3 of them, and I kept getting punched, and then I would get away, and then I would get automatically pulled back in between them and dead. So it's one of those games that I don't know if I can foresee myself going, 4 hours finding a gun, which I did yesterday. I found 2 guns, a pistol, but they were broken and no bullets.
Is it procedurally generated, or is it like a set map?
I think each map procedurally generates.
So as you walk, the map is being created?
No. I think what happens is someone creates a server, and then it creates a map pretty similar. Like, it's the same map, but then, like, the houses are kind of in different spots.
Okay, so it's kind of like an in-between then.
Yeah. But it's one of those permadeath things, which sucks because you can walk into a map and someone can instantly kill you, or you could be walking around and after having a character for like 10 hours and then someone just kills you and then you lose everything.
So this is like kind of like WoW, except you can't respawn. Like you can just walk into a contested area.
Yeah, like it's so realistic that it's just kind of ends up being frustrating more than anything else.
Like,
I feel like I watched gameplay about this game.
It has like I think it would be fun if I got a pistol and a little bit of health and was able to kind of camp around and get a kill every now and then. But this one, I played for an hour and a half and I did not see a single person.
Thing is,
and it was in a high volume area.
Thing is, even if you were in a high volume one, do you want to see anybody? I feel like that game is just waiting, like just breeding trolls who just want to like kill the newbies as soon as they come in.
See, that's the thing. I think that's the experience I kind of wanted. Like Fortnite, you when you played it and you saw someone, it was kind of like, ooh, but I see someone so often, I think I'll let this guy go past. This one, it's like, all right, I see someone up there. What, kind of what do I do? It's a different feeling. So it was cheap. I got it for $12, but I'm pretty sure that I'm just gonna return it.
Is this on your PC you're playing it, or PS4?
No, PS4.
Oh.
But even then, like, it plays okay. It's just when, like, it's got some clipping issues, and apparently every door opens inward. That's it. Like, nothing opens forward. So every time I open the door, it hits me, and then there's a weird glitch where it, like, kind of connects to my body, and then I'm like, and then I have to walk around it. You'd think, because one of the doors looks like you push it in, and it's like, it starts to go in, then it comes out. It's like, what the hell? So, like,
seems like garbage.
It's buggy. I'll definitely give it that. But there are some buggy games, like Elix was that random RPG that I pretty much
finished that.
I got to the final location and I was just too frustrated.
That was the one where the developer actually tweeted back at you, right? Or something
I
like
think
that.
so.
I remember you were really excited when that happened.
Yeah, it was. Well, it's a small company. I think they only have like 7,000 followers. But yeah, they made a few RPGs. They're clunky, but again, they're made by a small group of people, so you gotta kind of temper your expectations. But
can you play co-op in DayZ?
Yes.
Is it DayZ or DayZ?
DayZ.
Because it's one word.
It's
That's what I
one
was
word, but
wondering.
it's like DayZ. And it's always been.
Do you think this would be like a fun thing to try co-op, or do you think you're pretty much just?
I mean, I think
Not that we want to have every one of our co-op experiences to be a zombie game.
No, true. But I think it would be really fun co-op. But the problem is, I got to learn some tips because it's not like I was like playing for an hour and surviving that whole time and having still plenty of stocked like ammo and stuff. I died 3 times. Like from one of them was literally from starvation. Then your character like limps and stuff, and then to the point where you're in the middle of the woods and you're literally limping at like one step, and I'm like, fuck this. I'm like, where's the nearest cliff? So, and then just friggin' ended.
Yeah, it sounds like a sim more than anything else.
So yeah, it's just
super hyper realistic.
It's just
to the point of not being fun.
If they made, and there could be an easy mode or something, or where like you're guaranteed to start with something. I gotta play around with the settings. I only played it, like I said, one mode. I saw some different.
Are you willing to give it that second shot before you get rid of it?
No, I'll give it a second shot at some point. But
I mean, the concept sounds interesting.
It would be fun, like for all 3 of us to go in, because at that point, if 3 of us took on one person, took them out, but say Matt got killed or I got killed, at that point you could guard my stuff until I come back and get it back. So yeah, it'd be a new character, but
I'd probably just keep the stuff.
well, you take the stuff and then kind of like
leave.
Apex, where you took it for a little while and you're like, hey, can I have my stuff back? You can't take everything.
I don't think I'd give it back. Survival of the fittest, Dan. You did. I ate your flesh already.
You can actually eat.
Oh my god!
And apparently, if
hypothetically
you,
betray Dan.
there was some video I was
Something
looking.
hypothetical about it.
I was looking at too. I guess somebody was playing the game and they heard a rumor that if you eat 3 like full bodies of human flesh, you become insane in the game, and apparently it's true. So after he ate 3 people, like his character would randomly like I cannot say the word. Anyway, he would laugh like a maniac. He'd just walk around like maniacal. Like maniacal. That's
Maniacal.
it. Yeah, he would just like randomly make that noise like the character. It was insane.
What else
I
have
was
you been
like, oh, that's
playing?
goofy. I mean, we just started season 2 of what's it called? Modern Warfare. I thought that was kind
The
of...
seasons don't really matter to me because I don't buy the battle pass.
No, but I am kind of disappointed because I don't see... It came in with that big, like, airport level, like, oh, it looks cool, and they're going to bring it back, and they already...
Was that the airport level, though? Like
That has got to be it, but it's not one of the ones that's releasing, at least now.
I mean, because they released for they've been kind of releasing levels over time.
Yeah, well, they don't have much time, because the next Call of Duty is going to come out, and it's going to friggin'... They already call it like Call of Duty 2020 or whatever the hell it is.
I didn't even know there was another Call of Duty coming out this year. I thought they were running with Modern Warfare for the time being.
I hope they do. I want them to expand this one.
So did you play the new grocery store level?
No.
So maybe, I mean, are you sure the airport level hasn't been released? Did you look at like the release notes or something?
I looked at, they had a timeline of like season 2. Unless, of course, they made it, they said gunfight maps and more, but why would they make that such a big level for a gunfight for 2v2?
I don't know. I mean, they didn't really... I don't know why there was an
They
airport
landed
in
directly
that.
on it, and then they panned out, and you saw the whole map. I was like, that is terminal. That is the terminal level.
So I was right.
Yeah.
Because that was a guess on my part,
Yeah.
because I saw that opening cinematic that I was forced to watch that I couldn't skip.
I know, I tried.
And I'm thinking like...
We tried to mat it. We tried to mat it.
And this was my thing, because that's like the only map I remember.
That's one of the very few that I'm very fond of.
It's the
yes.
only one I like remember from that game is
Yeah.
like that and maybe Nuketown, just because it was in every game. But
Nuketown was Black Ops, but
so I saw that, I'm like, I wonder if that's the airport level. I bet Dan would know. But that was like, you're saying that was
is
legitimately
the terminal. It
level.
has to be like there was debris where debris was. There was the same exact thing, but
You heard it here, Matt. The debris was there.
It's
But
exciting.
the problem, though, is I think that it might but just be a part of the Battle Royale map.
Oh, I didn't even know they were doing Battle Royale.
Well, at the end of the trailer, remember the guys jumping out of the airplane?
No, I was not paying attention for most of it.
Well, that's the whole thing. Everyone's saying it's pretty much confirmed that they're making that classified. Did you go in and see classified mode? That's
I
gonna
care
be-
very little about most of the things going on in that game. It's my...
Anyway.
So here's the thing. Call of Duty for me is my like things have been... I've been like kind of generally overworked at work lately, generally tired. Like Call of Duty's been such an easy like, oh, I just want to like relax, go home, and it's like a pickup game, but I'm really doing the same thing all the time, and it hasn't gotten old. I've been enjoying it. Like I even made like a new challenge out of it by trying to like I got the assault rifle I've been using. I got the gold version by maxing out all the stats, and I'm like, oh, I want to like try to do that with all of the assault rifles. That's fun. And then I finally found out. So you asked me about reticles the other night and which reticle I use. I only have 2 unlocked, and I just assumed I would get the rest eventually. And then I'm looking at the reticles. I'm like, oh, I'm not using the correct site to unlock reticles. I didn't realize that. That's a challenge. You have to get headshots with the reflex sight, the specific reflex sight. And I'm like, oh,
but only that weapon. That weapon.
You have to do it for every weapon.
Yes, we would have done it by now. We would have unlocked.
Well, no, because I don't use that specific reflex. It's not just reflex; it's a specific reflex. It's like the first sight.
No,
I stopped using that site almost immediately.
Yeah, it's just it's. I don't think they did a good job with the.
Most of the reflexes I wouldn't use. I like the tiny dot.
I like a lot of them towards the end, but it's just. Like that would have been something I wouldn't.
But there's still things there keeping me entertained, and I don't really care about the stuff that they're adding because what's already there is still entertaining me.
Oh, absolutely. We've been playing it. Well, I think once we learned about hardcore, we've liked it even more.
Any chance you might end up picking up the game eventually, Matt?
Probably not. I don't really have any desire to play it.
It feels a lot like Apex. You can like slide on your knees. You can make really like a lot of the weapons are very similar.
It's not like Apex.
It is.
It doesn't have that charm, that cartoony kind of charm that Apex had. That I think Matt. That's like one of the things you were into about it, right?
No, but he loves the challenge stuff. He loves those.
In Apex, you can be alive for 20 minutes. Like I feel like in Call of Duty, you can't be alive that long.
You'd be fine in Call of Duty. Believe me, I think you'd be really good at it.
I don't know. I'm too old. Hands are too slow.
Who's older? Who's older? Which one of you is older?
Me?
I'm 32.
I'm almost 33.
Oh yeah, you're gonna be 33 this month.
Yes.
Happy almost birthday, man! Yay!
Hey, you can buy him Call of Duty, yay!
You'll be 33 at
we can both pull together and get Call of Duty, yay! For him, yay! And he can play, yay!
So I'm like 2 years younger than you ish, and about a year and a half younger than you.
Yeah, but let's go back to that thing. You should play.
I'll always be the young blood.
Hey, I'm very open to playing video games. I just prefer to play something more co-op.
How about you? Would you give it a shot? There is a co-op mode. It's PvE.
No.
I don't even want to play that.
I mean, I played Black Ops 4, and I didn't really... Like, I enjoyed the Battle Royale for a little while, but, like, the regular deathmatch, I had no fun in.
Did you think about going back to Apex for a little bit?
No, I feel like it's too hard to get back into, because, like, everyone that's been playing it has been playing it for over a year at this point.
They added some characters, probably, by now.
I just have a bad
I was just curious. I'm not interested, I was just curious.
I just think Battle Royale, I felt like it was such a waste.
So you're not going to play the Call of Duty Battle Royale?
I'll play it probably once, just to get a feel of it. That's it. Because Battle Royale just requires.
I will remember.
Maybe with the new system.
I will play it just to try it. But I will even Fallout made that. Like if I was remotely interested.
Yeah, but you don't even like that game to begin with, though.
No, but I like Fallout, and I still just
didn't outright refuse to play Fallout 76 until it has an offline mode for the most part.
Yes, I have not gone back to it since. Like I said, I got it for free. I was like, nope, this until they do that, and they're probably not. No. They'll just shut down the server.
Call of Duty's still doing it for me though. It's still scratching.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be more likely to try out if they have like a new one that comes out, near the launch of the PS5, which would be like, oh, it would look nice and have a bunch of new, like, it would just look like a new console generation, and everyone would be kind of starting at roughly the same level because it's, I'm assuming, going to play a little bit differently. But see, but I feel like jumping in halfway through the year is kind of rough to do.
But I don't think there's really a happening with Call of Duty though. You're kind of.
That's the point. It's not that there's not a happening. It's the point that the people that are playing now are people that like are super into Call of Duty.
It's the same people that were playing at the beginning.
We've played some.
It's the same people that were playing Black Ops 4 with you.
We've played some terrible people. Like there's the thing is, Call of Duty is so popular that even the people that suck are still playing the game just because they like it. Matt, I seriously think you'd be really good at it. Plus, this game allows you to really create a class. Based on like how you play.
I don't think Matt's really into that though. Like I think you were into Apex for the characters, weren't you? More.
No, you liked the abilities. You liked what each one did. Like
Yeah, just kind of all of it.
Yeah, and now that I guess they also shifted around in season 2 because people weren't using certain abilities, and I guess they didn't like that, so they swapped different. So you know how like there's score streaks, and then the other one they flip those in different categories. So now on the first one, if you don't want to use the run one, you can do score streaks instead. And now I guess they also incentivize it now that assist gets you more points towards because it used to be 25 points. Now they've increased it to like 50 to 75 or something like that. So now you can get kill streaks faster.
Wow. I didn't realize how little attention I paid to the game.
Oh, well, really?
I mean, you
Jesus.
know all this stuff. I
What,
don't.
you just like blindly hit X until you get into the game?
Yes.
Yeah, no, I
Or
have
usually I just join your party and.
they did a lot of work. I mean, hey,
I'm enjoying the game. Nothing
look,
against them.
Well, when we play tonight, take a look at the different create a class because they've swapped stuff around. And it's actually neat. They highlighted it.
Well, yeah. Now that you say that, I'll have to like actually pay attention because it's like, oh crap.
Yeah, they took some stuff away. Like I used to throw, like especially in like the cave, I used to throw a smoke grenade, and it would cover me, and then I would use the thermal sight to see through the smoke. You can't see through the smoke anymore.
Which makes sense.
Well, thermal, you're supposed to be able to see through it. Thermal, you're looking for heat. You can see through that.
I don't know. I've never in real life looked through a thermal sight as well as looking through smoke at the same time, so I don't know how the science works on it. I'm assuming that regardless of what it is realistically, that they just thought it was a little cheap that you could throw your own smoke grenade.
Yeah, I think for the sense of making it more balanced, I think they did that. Because it was fantastic. I would throw a smoke grenade and then people would be able to...
How often did you do that?
It depends on if I was in an area that I knew... Like, you know, Shoot House? That level...
Shoot House, you can do anything and no one's going to
Well, yeah, but you throw it in the middle, and then you hop up, and usually there's one person sitting there trying to, like, aim there, so you can usually pick him off, and I never did it, every room I go into, chuck a grenade, but...
Anything else you've been playing? I mean, we've been playing World War Z together. I don't know if any of you have more thoughts on that you want to share.
No, I'm just very impressed by the change of scenery, and it's amazing that for that game it's the same thing. You're shooting the same type of zombies. You're using this very similar weapons the whole time, but yet they're able to still make it interesting to me just by changing some of the characters and especially the atmosphere, the environment.
Like, each one of these episodes is like in a different place of the world. Like we're in Tokyo now.
Feels completely different because I remember when we were stuck at the frozen level, I was like, I don't really know.
Yeah, we were in Moscow for a while.
I was like, I don't really know if I want to continue playing this. And then we beat it, and I was like, all right.
Oh, wow, you were ready to like quit?
I was getting really bored of it towards the end of that level, just because we kept hitting that like end part.
If it wasn't for us playing co-op, I probably would have definitely dropped off after like the first episode or two.
Yeah, some of those levels, they're designed interestingly in that like there's like, oh, you have to escort this bus, you have to defend this helicopter. Like they kind of add these different kind of mini things they have to do, but it seems like they kind of have this like really surge of difficulty right at the last 3 minutes of this 25-minute thing, which can be pretty frustrating because me and Dan and Andy were in situations where, like especially last night, where we would get to the end without too much issue, and then like in the last 2 minutes we would just get overwhelmed by hordes of zombies that there was like almost nothing. Even if we were shooting the zombies so there's zombies trying to get over a gate, and we were just like shooting at them, and there were just so many that we couldn't get it done. And we just died instantly. And it's kind of a bummer to, play 20 minutes and then just die within like 90 seconds of a mission starting.
Well, plus we have that handicap of that AI character that just doesn't even level up at all.
We only have it on difficulty 2 out of 5, though. I'm wondering what it's going to be like once we up that.
Yeah, but can you imagine getting a fourth player? Like, that? Not only the fourth player's skill, but also their abilities.
It would be at least better if they averaged out our levels to make him
he does,
an average level.
He's still
Is he level 1 every time?
Yeah, he's still level 1, so it's going to get...
Have we looked into whether or not you can actually go into the settings and change his level for the computer player?
I don't think so.
I don't think you can, but I haven't checked too much deeply into it. But.
Yeah.
Or pick his class or something? No, because it just shows up as like nothing
as soon as you join, he just appears.
Yeah, that's
you
true.
Can't really...
So I think it's a bad choice.
We should get a fourth person to play with us.
We should get a fourth person.
But they're gonna be level 1.
Yeah, but
At least they'll be human.
yeah, and plus we can talk to them and be like, hey, can you come over here?
But yeah, I don't have too much to say about it. Generally, aside from what you said, like that difficulty spike, and when you play a level 3 times in a row, and it's just like, oh, you have to. There's no checkpoints. You have to go all the way through
it's
the
just a
level
bummer,
again.
like,
Yeah,
go through the
that's-
whole thing.
But
frustrating.
in the end, it's still fun. I'm generally enjoying it.
I am too.
I'm in it to the end at this point. We've played too much of it to quit. I don't know how long the game is.
I think
yeah,
it's
what do you
6
guys?
chapters.
So there's, I think it was only 4, right? There's 4 episodes, and we're on the last episode, right?
I thought it was 6.
Maybe it's 5
I feel
because
like it
I think
was-
Tokyo's the last one.
I have no
Oh,
information.
I
for
thought
you.
I
And
thought
then
I
there's
saw
like there's
something
like a
about 6.
there's a couple other ones underneath it. There's like a horde mode and stuff like that, but I don't think there's any extra like.
so we're like right at
episodes.
the tail end then, if that's true.
Yeah, so are you guys done as soon as we get to the end of Tokyo?
I don't feel like this
Unless
is a
there's
game.
something else to do.
I was gonna say I don't feel like there's a lot to do.
I'm done with this friendship when we're done with this game.
Fair enough. It all ends. Podcasts, World War Z,
Everything ends.
friendship, life.
No, we just move on to the next game,
Yeah, I guess so.
like Diablo 3 or anything co-op. I mean, even Gears of War could be fun co-op.
It'll be interesting when you guys stop. Maybe I'll go into some single player or to some like matches online and see if there's like you can easily get into a match. That was my only concern is if you played with random people, if you would even find people, because it kind of has to be specifically like at your difficulty level
And one person alone.
and the part of the episode that you're doing, and they all have to be starting
I
at the
wonder
same time
how-
of this like 30-minute match.
Like, I wonder if as a single player you can just go into a random lobby and hope for the best. Yeah, that there are a lot of parameters in that.
yeah, we'll see.
That's why with AI carriages, I think you should be able to control them a little bit. That's why Ghost Recon, what was it? Wildlands was really fun because you could customize each guy and be like, all right, hey, I want you to be the sniper, and you're going to give him this gun or whatever. And you kind of tailored them, and you could also tell them, like, hey, I want you to aim at him, aim at him, aim at him, and in 3 seconds you're going to fire. And then I'm going to shoot this 4th guy, so you can take 4 guys down quietly. So it felt like you weren't controlling them per se, but you still were able to kind of manipulate what they were doing.
Yeah, Left 4 Dead had it a little bit easier because Left 4 Dead didn't have like a leveling system. Everybody was just always the character, and there was no like upgrades for the guns, so you didn't really ever have to worry about them. Actually, I would say the computer players in that game were actually a little too good because they
my god, they would pain in the ass. The fucking jockeys.
No,
I hated those.
I mean your co-op.
Computer
players.
okay.
They would be a little too good, and they would aim almost instantly for something like, no, that was my kill. I had that special, and then they would kill him like almost instantly. But yeah, it's still good.
Well, plus that game was extremely like hilarious. That's the one thing I do
It was
miss.
a really fun game.
Because it was just goofy and over the top.
Matt, what do we got going on in the news this week? I know there wasn't a lot, but a couple things happened.
We're gonna get a Crash Bandicoot mobile game. Are you excited?
Yeah.
There was a leak that there's going to be made by King, the same people that made Candy Crush. It's going to be like I'm sure most people won't enjoy it. Yeah, it's like it's it's one of those infinite runner games, kind of like Temple Run. If you've ever played that popular
Not to mention,
phone game.
didn't Naughty Dog made the original trilogy? Who made the reboot?
You mean I have no idea.
And like, doesn't Activision own the IP?
Yeah, Activision owns King's.
Activision and the
IP,
people
yeah.
who made Candy Crush to me does not equal something that's going to be good.
Yeah.
Or fun.
It'll be interesting to
No,
try
the
out
people
when it comes
from
out,
Candy
but
Crush can.
who knows
fuck
when
off.
it'll come out. And the other piece of news, we had talked about this as like a rumor recently, but it kind of got confirmed, is that they are completely rebooting Anthem, a la Final Fantasy 14. Realm Reborn.
Whoa! I thought they were just doing an update. I didn't know it was a reboot of Anthem.
Yeah, I mean,
Anything about offline mode?
it's not like
Offline campaign?
they haven't said exactly how they're releasing it, what it's going to be, but they said they're kind of going, dark for the next some number of months.
I mean,
until...
they've been dark already for months.
Yeah, true, but they've been
anyways.
doing like small updates and cataclysms that you can play through the game and like seasonal events, and it looks like they're just going to be kind of like recycling old ones that they've had until they figure this out.
Really committed to this game.
Yeah, I always think about like when people do this with like games like No Man's Sky or like this game where they just kind of start from scratch, like how much more money is there to be had? Because presuming everyone that's already bought it, and it did sell a lot, they're going to get this game for free. And then, most other people, it's not like a new exciting launch, so they'll probably be less likely to buy it. So, and I mean, this is a PS4 game, or like a current generation. So when it comes out, it's going to be like the new generations are going to be either coming out or already out.
I'm sure you'll be able to, again, backwards compatibility. So you'll be able to play it.
But how many people are going to be excited to playing it like a 2-year-old Anthem game? It's just I'm just curious. I guess we'll have to wait and see. It like depends on how much they're willing to do, because they're gonna have to change a lot about the core.
Yeah, they didn't
progression
really hit
and-
on this soon enough. But
Yeah.
well, I guess the problems all go all the way back to the pre-production phase. Like they should have known the train wreck it was going to be before they released it.
Well,
Yeah,
I'm-
that's the big problem.
I'm also wondering if maybe they hit a snag with Dragon Age 4, where they were like, "Oh, this is going to take a little bit longer than we expected." So they're like, "All right, hang on, we'll get part of this team to work on this. We'll do some updates. Maybe they'll utilize some of the stuff that they were making in Dragon Age and
Does that even have a confirmed release date?
No.
no, but it's confirmed. Dragon Age.
I feel
4.
I feel like Dragon Age is getting the Watch Dogs treatment, where like how Ubisoft is like, Watch Dogs, and pretty much all of our future plans are on hold until we fix what we have now. I think EA and BioWare might be doing the same thing with Anthem.
Yeah, but just as Matt said, you got to know that Anthem, especially at the end of the life of a console, is not going to be a moneymaker going forward. At this point, you're just kind of saving face.
They
I
would
mean, they
need to
must-
do a free to play version in order to make this work.
Yeah, it seems like it would be like a kind of a good model for free to play. And part of me wonders is if because they built this whole new IP, if they kind of have plans to bring like an Anthem 2 out to the PS5, that might make sense to where all right, we got to make this game right before we launch a second one.
I would love to be a fly on the wall of whatever is going on in the meeting rooms at EA about this game, because
I
think
mean,
they must. I'm fascinated.
Yeah,
by
they
the
think
story.
they must think it's in their best interest to spend presumably a good deal of chunk of money fixing this 1-year-old game that no one
who's
seems to
playing
enjoy
this right now.
Yeah, I can't imagine a lot of people are enjoying it. Like maybe I don't know if how the matchmaking is at the moment, but I mean that's one of the reasons I got it when it was like $5 or $10 at some store. I mean, you can get it pretty cheap. Like,
Yeah, I got it for
I'm
$5
excited to
at
see how
Christmas.
this turns out. Like, I'll play it, when it reboots again and see if it's actually decent.
I feel bad for not remembering, because it was pretty recently. Wasn't Anthem our biggest dumpster fire for 2019 for the Video Game Awards?
I thought that was Blizzard.
Or
and
most
Hong Kong.
disappointing game?
Yeah, it could
I
have
think
been.
it was one of the two.
Oh, Blizzard was biggest dumpster fire. You're right.
Yeah,
I think Anthem ended up being most disappointing.
there
or
were so
something
many.
Like that.
Yeah, there were so
There's
many.
so many bad things that
and it's
happened
just,
last year.
I mean, I've said this before too, but like the gameplay loop, the actually like flying around and shooting is a lot of fun if they just added everything else around it. That
I heard
Which
no
is
one
what they're good
complained
at.
about
That's
mechanics.
their best part. Their best feature was supposed to be dialogue.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's what Mass Effect was.
Well, I know
all
that
about.
Mass Effect,
and
but-
Dragon Age. Dragon Age.
Anthem, I just kept hearing about the flying.
Yeah, well, I think they focused too much on that, and they went away from the whole dialogue part of it. Because
should be the next game we all play together. Anthem. All right, they're not smiling. I'm smiling.
I will play.
I don't know
Anthem.
how to react.
Wait, I will play Anthem
Uh-oh.
with you
Uh-oh.
if you get Call of Duty Modern Warfare and play with us now.
No. All right, no.
What? Why? I don't get it. You play Apex multiplayer. That is like a stressful game. Call of Duty, you
I've
just
got too many other games to play. Like I don't want to spend another.
you're playing Final Fantasy VII over again.
And weren't you just
You
asking
quit
for
after
Dirge or
loss.
Cerberus?
Yeah, that's because I've got to finish it before. I've got to
don't
beat
have to
Final Fantasy
finish-
VII.
No, you don't.
I've got to play
No,
through
no,
Dirge
no,
of
no.
Cerberus
No, you
and
don't.
Crisis Core before Final Fantasy Remake comes out.
Also,
playing-
Matt does
to-
not like PvP games. I was surprised to hell that he played Apex at all.
Yeah, but
Yeah, that
that's
was
why,
very out of character.
But
Like,
that's
I
why
really
I
don't like
think
PvP games.
this Call of Duty, it honestly, I feel like it played a lot like Titanfall, and Titanfall is
Matt didn't even like Apex half the time because he didn't like playing the PvP because he didn't think he was any good at it, and he's just
Honestly,
gonna
like,
get
you
like.
were.
I was
but-
in
but
like an
this is-
abusive relationship with that game. Like I was playing it because I needed to get the goddamn battle pass done every day, and it pulled the right levers on my kind of addictive personality brain of like, oh, I got to get to
Yeah.
the end of the battle pass.
Well, that's what this game, and not only that,
But he doesn't want that. Though.
But everything,
finally broke free. Dan. You're pulling me
everything of
back
this,
in.
you're playing the phone games. They all have that like check in after like 6 seconds.
I know
and-
it's very aggravating.
Yeah, but the thing with Call of Duty is they're actually everything you do, you're getting something. You're unlocking a camouflage. You're doing a challenge. You're getting a weapon skin. You're unlocking a reticle. You're
Dan,
doing.
he's not going to play Call of Duty. He doesn't like Call of Duty.
No, he hasn't played it yet.
I play Black Ops 4. It's one of those games where like
Black Ops 4 is
every
like
5
super-
years I give it a chance, and I'm like, oh, this is.
All right,
yep,
well,
I still
Black
don't
Ops
like this.
didn't count because that's not a real Call of Duty
okay.
game. That was just battle royale. That's
Andy,
it.
That didn't count.
Believe me, this
I
this
mean,
one is completely
in reality,
different.
it
It's
didn't.
revamped. It plays, believe me, a lot like Apex, where
Matt, you wouldn't like it.
Matt,
Yeah,
I
I don't
think
think
you
I
would
would.
like it.
I mean,
why don't you give it a shot? How about you give it a shot?
Maybe I'll give the 2021 a
Well,
shot.
do you want to borrow my disc and
Just
play
try
it?
it.
I don't think so.
I'm stealing all
You said
your
that with
cables.
such like literal enthusiasm.
I
to
am
it. I
taking
don't think
all
so.
of your cables from all of your systems away from you, like a parent, until you
You
play.
excited to play some Dirge of Cerberus?
Yeah, that'll be fun. I'll probably play it for like an hour. That game was really cheap though. That was $5.
So replace.
Call of Duty's still like $40.
No, you can get it for like 30, and I'll buy it for
nobody,
you.
Nobody should force themselves to play
I
something
will.
they don't want to play.
We're playing it as a team for the podcast. For the podcast.
We're playing World War Z as a team.
Yeah, but we're almost
podcast.
done with that.
Yeah, we got to come up with something else to play.
That's what I mean. Like, so
I don't
Diablo.
think Call of Duty should be it though.
Diablo 3. No, if Diablo 3 would.
Ooh, Diablo 3 would be fun to do co-op for the podcast, but I don't know. That's a
Sure.
long haul. It's a lot of stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, but that's good
Yeah,
footage stuff.
footage.
Good footage.
Yeah, no, Matt wouldn't be in a Call of Duty.
All right, would you try Diablo then?
He likes Diablo.
Yeah, probably as long as we.
I
can
have
get
it on the
at a decent
Switch.
Price.
But I'd rather.
Well, there's
it
no way
for-
to do co-op on the Switch.
Yeah, we'd
well.
all have to get it for PS4, right?
I'll get it for the PS4.
I'll get it.
to play for the podcast.
I'll re-get it for the PS4.
Matt?
Plus, Amy can play it. as well.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't want to pay full price. It's $60.
No, it's not.
Diablo 3?
No, it's not.
Yeah,
There's
well,
no way it's still $60.
On the Switch, yes, but not for a PlayStation. It's like less than 30.
I can probably find it used for $10
$60.
somewhere.
Yeah, don't buy it digitally, goof.
Yeah,
Buy
goof.
it used.
Goof.
Buy it used.
Anyways,
Buy it used.
Matt, are you still playing that Magic game?
Yeah,
Still
playing
liking
that for a
it?
few weeks. Yeah, so far.
I don't know. I might try giving it a shot again.
Yeah, it's fun.
this week if I'm bored over the weekend or something
Yeah,
like
there's
that.
not much you
So I'm
need
gonna
to
be
say about
at
it.
I'm gonna be at my girlfriend's all weekend. So I mean, technically I'm gonna be there enjoying her time, but
Ugh.
you know, there's gonna be like 5 minutes where I'm gonna be like, just fuck off. I just want to play a phone game. No, that's not true. I love her. We're gonna see the Sonic movie Friday. We're gonna have hibachi on Saturday.
Ooh, I forgot
Sounds
Friday
great.
is Darksiders Genesis that's coming out for me on the Switch.
It's also Valentine's Day.
Yeah, well, my wife and I already celebrated early, so we beat the crowds.
It's the way to live.
Beat the crowds to what?
That's the way
So
to do it.
everything you wanted. Friday is going to be packed. Like everything's going to be packed.
I don't think anybody's gonna be packing in the Sonic movie for
Are you-
Valentine's Day.
Are you kidding me? Teenagers and stuff? Are you kidding me?
Well, maybe. I mean,
You're gonna be in a room full of teenagers and friggin' like, oh, we're going to a movie together.
I'm in I'm a room full of assholes every time I see a movie. That's not really saying much.
I was very impressed by the audience that I saw Quiet Place with. They were very, very good, except one person.
Didn't I
was it.
see that with you?
I don't remember. All I know is that was the most unique experience I've ever had at a movie theater.
I feel like I was
every
there.
you could hear everything because it was dead quiet.
Yeah, but
So-
no. I mean, Saturday I'm going to the Boston Science Museum with her, but that's not Valentine's Day. Saturday.
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't want to celebrate it at all, to be honest.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, so we just
I think
did
it's
our.
a dumb holiday.
It's supposed to.
It's a dumb holiday.
All right. Yeah, I agree.
It was a holiday created by the greeting card companies to sell more bullshit. It's a dumb holiday. Her and I aren't even seeing Sonic because of Valentine's Day. It's just something for us to do. That being said, I did get her a Valentine's Day card because it makes her happy. It makes her happy. I want to make her happy. So it's kind of so here's a little funny anecdote. So every time I'm behind a car, which I know Matt loves being behind other cars. Every time I'm behind, he hates it so much. Every time I'm behind a car and I see a bumper sticker that says like, you know, my kid goes to this elementary school, or you know, my kid was an honor student for 5 minutes in this moon of Jupiter. So anytime I see shit like that, I always think like, I'm not putting that shit on my car. Not no way, not no how. And then I had this like random.
Yes, you would.
This is like looping into the whole Valentine's Day card thing. Like, yeah, do I want to pay $3 for this Valentine's Day card? But what's worth more to me, the $3 or seeing her smile at what I write in the card? What's worth more to me, not having a sticker on my car,
Yeah, but you have
or seeing my kid, my 5-year-old kid who brings home this sticker and is so goddamn excited to put it on my car, even though I don't want that titties piece of shit on my car. I'm going to say, yeah, go put it on. Because a month from now, a month later, he's going to forget. I'll just tear it off and say it washed away. It's worth more. The Valentine's Day card is seeing her smile and what I write in the card is worth more than
all
the $3.
things. You have the capability and the know-how to make, a Zelda frame, and yet you pay these people to these cards, these keepsake cards or whatever. You'll give them $3 to do it. I'm just surprised as artistic that you are, that you don't just.
Well, I could make a nice looking card, but to actually buy the card stock and find a printer and pay someone
to just fold a card. And...
It's about the same amount of money, is what I'm saying. It's actually more money for me to actually do that. Also, I don't.
No, it isn't. If you were to take a piece of paper, print something on it, fold it in half, and then just write in it, yeah, it wouldn't be as pretty, but I mean, it would still be from you, and it would still cost you nothing. A little bit of ink.
A little bit of ink.
Well, yeah.
When I want to print something in black and white, I still need cyan for whatever reason.
Yeah, I know, it's true. I think they're just leaking.
Actually, I print all my shit out at work anyways.
Oh, nice. Making the government pay for it, huh?
That's my tax dollars.
Yeah. Yes.
Fair.
I'm paying my own paycheck.
Spent all day trying to save the government money. And
I don't mind
I'm
spending $3 on a car. It's fine. I get her one that I know she'll like usually.
No,
So
I just tell my wife I love her and that we don't spend money or waste money on that stuff. So I was like, we'll put
Dan
that towards
loves his
dinner.
wife.
Thank you. I do love my wife.
yeah. No, I love my girlfriend too. She likes getting cards and flowers once in a while. So
Oh, I'll do
it
it for the big things, but for like Valentine's Day,
No, I get her flowers.
Easter, no.
I'll get my. Well, Easter's stupid. No, I'll get my girlfriend flowers on a random week just because.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, we're still gonna go out to the Sonic movie. She still likes doing those couple things, and that's fine. Even though I tell her all the time, I think it's a dumb holiday, but we'll do something if it makes you happy. That's what's important to me.
I thought you said you weren't doing it because it was Valentine's Day.
No, I got her a card because I know her getting a card on Valentine's Day makes her happy, regardless of how I feel about the holiday.
Okay. I was going to say, I thought you were.
We're talking about video games, right?
Yeah, no, we're not. We're not.
We haven't been.
Matt, we'll stop talking about this if you play Call of Duty.
I didn't get either of you a Valentine.
Well, that hurts.
Good. I choose you.
Wasn't there one with a bumblebee in that episode, too? The choose you was at the beginning, and then later on, I don't know, there was something with a bumblebee at the end of the episode.
I remember there's somebody dressed like a bumblebee.
I don't remember. I just remember the card and then his heart breaking.
Oh, Bumblebee Man. He was a character
Right.
on the show. Ay, caramba! And then he would say something in Spanish, but I don't speak Spanish.
No, you don't. I have not heard you speak in Spanish in a while.
Or ever. Yeah.
Or ever, actually.
I know how to say I don't speak Spanish in Spanish.
So, question, you did seem a little piqued, or your interest piqued a little bit by DayZ. Would you be interested in co-oping, running around, or okay? No, it's just curious. I'm probably, like I said, I'm gonna
The
try
idea seemed curious, but then after you explained it, I'm like, oh, that sounds like hot garbage.
If I can find an easier mode where you start with
Like, I
better resources,
Couldn't
and
find
stuff.
hotter garbage if I was on the surface of the sun and Bonnie's Island was in it.
I don't know who Bonnie's
My
Island
God.
is.
It's a garbage island.
Who's Bonnie?
Never mind. It's lost. It's gone. If there was a trash heap on the sun, DayZ would still be hot as garbage.
Yeah, but what's Bonnie?
It's a thing. You've never heard of Bonnie's Island?
No,
It's a garbage island.
I've never heard of that.
It was like off of the Bay of Massachusetts.
Have you heard of that?
Nope.
Thank you.
All right, fine.
People have heard of Ducky. They've not
Matt
heard of.
didn't.
No, I
You
haven't had
did.
Ducky.
So it was 2 out of 3.
Okay.
So yeah, 2 out of 3.
Just doesn't mean it didn't exist.
Well, it probably exists. Lots of things exist.
Like,
in
you
your
two have a
mind.
lot of things in common. It doesn't really make either of you right.
I think it does. There's definitely one thing right that we are very firm about. Kettle corn sucks.
Oh, kettle corn blows.
Do you want me to take that bag of kettle corn out of your closet if you don't like it so much?
Yeah, get it out of here. Freaking terrorists have kettle corn in my closet. all the
Just
time.
narrating right now. Andy is getting the kettle corn out of Matt's closet, and he is now hugging it.
Kettle corn is great.
Oh God.
If you're not going to eat it, I will.
Let him enjoy the trash.
You do whatever you need to do.
I don't understand why
Bonnie's
that's-
trash.
I don't understand why that's the thing though. Like, kettle corn's the
It's
thing that
just
makes you two
funny.
disgusted. Like, it's
just
so
funny.
random.
It's just funny.
Because neither of you like anything.
We love everything. We
not
just
true.
we just have
bland tastes.
Nope, we have
Blandest.
good taste
of
for
bland.
better popcorn.
I think Dan actually looked at me one time and said, like, I just like good old vanilla ice cream.
Oh
I
my
don't
god.
need anything in my
Is that
ice
true,
cream.
Dan?
That is not true because I would need chocolate syrup. Like I like vanilla ice cream, but it has to have something with it.
Oh, I want ice cream.
Oh, do you guys want to go get ice cream?
I want Oreo ice cream and peanut butter sauce.
That sounds heavy.
Ooh, peanut butter sauce. Mmm.
We're still on a podcast, right?
About video games.
I kind of checked out already.
Yeah.
Not really
close
anything
us
else.
up, Andy.
Oh, do you guys want to talk about the N-Gage thing? Or the NVIDIA N-Gage? What was that from, like 2002?
Are they bringing the N-Gage back?
Oh my god! Actually, funny situation. So the guy next to me at work, he's not a gamer in any possible way, but we were talking about something like old school video games.
That's good.
Really?
That plays good on the radio.
Andy, you're gonna be munching.
Oh my god. Can you stop this
I love it.
podcast
It's
10 minutes ago?
I hate you so much. Anyway, the last bit, and then you can go thrust kettle corn in your mouth. Anyway, we were talking, and somebody is one of the airmen that I work with is leaving. She's getting out of the military, so they're doing like a congratulations, happy, and they bought her a giant master sword. And everyone was just like, "Oh, look, a sword!" And I was like, "Oh, that's actually from something." Like
Did she know it was from
Oh,
something?
absolutely.
Oh,
She's
okay.
she's like, I have a Zelda poster in my cubicle, and she's like, "Oh, I love that game." We talked about it for a little while.
Oh, okay.
And we both determined that
That'd be hilarious if they like purposely just got her a sword and didn't know it, and nobody knew
No.
except you that it was a master sword.
No.
That'd be funny.
She knew exactly what it was. But the guy next to me didn't know. He was like, "Oh yeah, that was a cool sword." I was like, "Actually, that's from an old video game." And he was like, "Oh, like what game?" And he started listing like a bunch of stuff off. And I was like, "Oh, it's from Zelda." And he's like, "Oh yeah, I never got into Zelda, but I used to play the Atari all the time." And he's like, "Hey, wasn't there news last year about Atari making a system?" And I was like, "Yeah." And I was going to be like, "Hey,
Tell him how excited Matt on our podcast was about the
no,
idea
I
of
didn't
that
get
system.
into it, but I thought of that, and I was like, that's really funny. Like, out of all the information that a non-gamer retains, like, that's the information you retain, not, PlayStation 5 is coming out, or just that tiny tidbit of, the Atari 2600 HD is coming out,
Must
or
be a
whatever.
sign.
So I just thought that was very,
I
very
don't think
comical.
that's coming out anyways anymore. They've been silent
Well,
for such a long time.
they've probably realized we have a lot more to compete with now that
They were
they're
like making it in a garage or something. It was really weird.
making it in the garage.
Every time I saw like videos of it, it was always like some guy's apartment or something. It was a very strange marketing model they had.
Is that Atari's office now?
I
Just-
guess.
Just like some random
So what's
house.
going on with Blizzard and Nvidia? Not N-Gage. Like they're taking like games off of the Nvidia.
Yeah, so
Which I forgot Nvidia had a handheld.
well, no, that it's not just a handheld. It's it released and it's supposed to be like a competition to Stadia, and a lot of people are saying it's
the
a lot.
streaming service.
Yes, and they're saying it's
they
a
also
lot.
had a handheld, didn't they?
They did, but it wasn't very successful. It's basically like a portable, like one of those like portable DVD players, and then it was just clunky, just kind of clunky.
Okay.
But yeah, I guess they're removing their game. Blizzard is removing their games from their devices. They're not allowing you to play it on there. I don't know if maybe because they have a deal with Stadia or something like that.
So
maybe they
wait,
have to.
does Blizzard have games on Stadia?
I'm wondering.
What does Stadia have? Like 5 games? I don't think any of them are
Well,
World of
technically,
Warcraft.
it's a user browser thing. So would you be able to play World of Warcraft without technically paying for it? Because it's based off the browser,
Stadia
right?
is not a
No, you
browser.
still have to pay $15 a month for that.
Well, you probably still have to pay $15 a month, but it's one of those games that you can just download from.
It's still
'cause
now. It's its own
'cause it's like-
application. You play through BattleNet. It's still like an application on your computer.
Okay, so it's not okay. It's I'm thinking that it's just like on the internet.
So
You go
Nvidia did
and download
Nvidia
it.
have I have a feeling this
Or-
is an Activision thing more than anything.
Oh, I
probably.
wouldn't doubt it. It seems like Activision is always holding. Maybe
All right,
Blizzard.
So what are the facts of this?
So oh, hang on. I'll take a quick look.
You didn't even know. You just
Well, I thought it was shocking that this Nvidia thing is getting a lot of popularity, and it's kind of
All right. Here's what happened. Nvidia's GeForce, which is their streaming service, is losing all Activision Blizzard games. So not just Blizzard, all Activision Blizzard, the company, which they are now called Activision Blizzard, is pulling out of GeForce. That's a lot. That's a lot of titles.
Overwatch, Call of Duty, that hurts.
Yeah, so that's what happened. So the company pulled out. It wasn't just specifically Blizzard or whatever pulled out of GeForce. It was the company, the publisher overall, which, you know, who there's probably several hundred games that they published that I wouldn't even think Activision
yeah,
published, because you only think of like the big
simple.
ones.
Yeah. There's a lot of games. So I don't know, that it seems like these streaming services, I
didn't even know Nvidia was making a streaming service. I had no idea of this before I found out that Activision was pulling out of this thing that I didn't even know was a thing.
Well, honestly, I don't think a lot of people know about Stadia. I mean, there was an article I was reading about people, some guy who plays Stadia, and he was trying to give 3 months free to like his friends, and nobody wanted it. He couldn't give it away. He just said like a lot of people just they don't like the idea of not owning their license, the licensed product.
I wonder
or whatever.
if they should just start doing what AOL used to do, just send everybody discs until they install the browser.
Until they
I
become.
used to use those as Frisbee because they would just come in so frequently.
They were great coffee, like
9.0 is
coasters.
here!
Like the coasters.
Oh, yeah.
Those are great.
That's funny.
But
How long do we give Google Stadia before it shuts down? What are we thinking? Like, realistically.
I think they're going to keep it going
years.
longer than it's probably going to keep losing the money, but they have so much money. I'm sure they're going to keep it.
Is it
I would
losing
s-
money currently? Like, is it really hemorrhaging? Because I
would imagine
you see the
I
headlines.
would imagine it's
but
not successful
I don't have any
financially.
facts. I don't have any hard numbers.
You got to think of all the people they paid
think it'll be
to do that. You got to
yeah.
think of all the people, the marketing, all that they had to pay to do that, and then on top of that, I think everyone paid a flat fee, right, for the first one.
Yeah, for the first 3 months.
So that's it.
Because there's two companies here, like Google. It's not that Google owns everything. It's two companies. There's Alphabet, which owns Google, and then there's like the Google side of the company.
Oh, I did not know.
Yeah, it's even bigger than people realize.
Well, I know there's like a bunch of Fortune 500 companies. I don't know what the hell half of them are, but they just own things.
But yeah, I don't know. We're not ready for the technology yet.
No, it's not. It needs to be. It needs to be near perfect. It needs to be like literally like electricity. You plug it in and it's constant.
I don't think it's necessary. I think it's much like I understand we're moving towards a digital only age. That's the way things are eventually going to move. But it's much easier and better to have just a hard drive in your TV that you're downloading things onto rather than trying to stream them. I don't understand what the necessity is to stream the things, especially if they're making you pay for the game.
Well, it works for movies because it's like
But you're paying for a subscription service to stream the movies. You're not paying per movie just to stream it. Like Google Stadia is making you pay for a subscription service and making you pay per game.
Well, yeah, but PlayStation is allowing you to stream and just pick from their catalog. So with PlayStation View.
Yeah, but that's a separate entity, though.
Well, yeah, but that's essentially a streaming service.
No, it is. But you're not
So-
paying per game as well, though.
You're just paying a flat
Yeah,
$10
like if you're
fee,
going to make me pay
$5 fee per
$60
month.
per game, just make me download the game and make me
But
play
see-
offline, and then that would alleviate all of the issues that people are having with actually having to stream all these games.
Well, I think the big thing too is people need that hub, like PlayStation. Everyone goes to PlayStation and plays from there. So I think that's
Xbox and PlayStation are set up a lot better for these streaming services than
well,
like,
they
things
just
like Google.
they just need a hub, like kind of like how like all these like Apple's making now their own television shows and Netflix. It's going to get ridiculous to the point where almost like each channel is literally just going to have their own
Well, yeah,
app.
cable's going to be gone as we know, and everyone's going to have an app or a streaming service.
But then I don't think that's going to work, and I think they're going to try. Some of them are going to try and merge together again,
maybe.
like basically what television is. Television is just a bunch of channels on one main
90%
thing.
of which no one wants to watch.
Well, yeah, exactly. But I think that's what works with games, especially when games are $60 a piece, and probably going to go up.
Oh, do
That's
we
an
think they're
interesting
going up to 70?
I think they.
per game?
for the next gen?
Yeah.
I would say so. That's a safe bet.
That's
I would
They've been
put
$60
for like
60
two
for
seasons, two generations,
seasons.
3.
2 seasons of video games.
Well, there used to be like absolutely no rhyme or reason to game pricing. I don't know when they established.
$20, wasn't it?
yeah,
new?
for like SNES,
No.
they would randomly be like $80 or $90.
What?
And then they were like, then they went, and like, because a lot of it had to do with cartridges costing more money. And then
$90.
I don't think it. I think it was the GameCube, PS2, and Xbox era. They were 50, and then they went up
Yeah.
to 60.
Yes, they went to
but
60.
But they've been up. They've been $60 for 13 years now. That's a long time with like inflation and everything. That's a long time not to raise the price of a standard video game. It's not like anybody's telling them that needs to be the standard price.
But
either.
maybe they're afraid, hey, we're already throwing microtransactions. They're getting pissed off about that. If we make them pay $10 more and we have microtransactions. So I think that they're maybe really worried about that.
Yeah, but the thing is, they probably should have been
I know.
upped
I know.
a while ago.
They should have. I think they might have missed that bandwagon. So
well, now's the perfect time to do it. Economy's good. It's a transition from console generation.
I mean, just
It's
watch
better
as
time
soon as
than any.
those consoles come out, the economy's going to go straight in the shitter or something. That's right around election time. Who knows what's going to happen?
Let's see.
But yeah, that's about all I have. You guys want to bring anything more to the table?
Nope, I'm
I
good.
got to come up with something better to say than that.
yeah, you think 42 episodes in, you figure that
I don't
out.
know, like bring something to the table that is there something else I can say? Is there anything else you guys want to log on to this internet?
Oh my god,
Chat
it's
room.
so much worse. It's so much worse.
I think you should segue this bitch out of here.
You guys ever ridden on a Segway?
Nope.
Oh, neither way.
Is that a
And with that, this is the Trophy Hunter,
good segue?
the collector,
Segue.
and the Value Gamer logging off.